Salute, salute. The streets are buzzing. Welcome to the chat show where we talk about these New York Knicks. We shout you out. Let's keep the chat, keep it buzzing. Throw your thoughts, questions out there. A lot of news on the back of the third day after the New York Knicks, pulled off a big trade for Cam Reddish, Leon Rose, wheeling and dealing, showing what he's made of. Out to change the perception of these New York Knicks and how the front office is, does deals with everyone around the league, picking up respect, gaining everyone's respect, experts, pundits, fans, everyone, putting in their 2 cents that either way you slice it and dice it. Leon Rose fleeced the Atlanta Hawks. In my opinion, it was a great trade. Solid trade, all upside only, nothing to lose. And of course, there was a little bit more news in terms of the machinations of the trade. Details dropped by Bobby Marks, that the New York Knicks did actually create a trade exception as well. Atlanta Hawks also gave us $800,000 in cash considerations to take on Solomon Hill as well. So it just gets better and better for the New York Knicks. But salute to the chat. Sharp Powers, salute. Allah Wise, peace. Frank Matos, appreciate you. Ilmatics, appreciate you as always. Hey, the chat keeps this thing going. Drew, back for more. Let's get it rolling. Friday night, Knicks, the feeling's right. A lot of news come out today in terms of the New York Knicks, made an official statement on the acquisition of Cam Reddish. We heard from Tibbs. Tibbs spoke about, obviously, Cam Reddish is a solid addition, and he's excited to see what he can do, on the defensive end. He also revealed that, Cam won't play. So, of course, Cam Reddish's debut is delayed. Unfortunately, he's out a while. Now, a while's up to interpretation, but to me, it does sound like, Cam will be out for probably three games, I'd say. I think he's had some ankle, complaint that they don't want to take any chances with because, ankles can be pretty tricky, right? There's no need to rush it, but it just gives the New York Knicks a bit more time, to show Cam the playbook, acclimate, hopefully get a couple of great practices in, enough time to light a fire under Evan Fournier, Quentin Grimes, Alec Burks, let them feel a little bit of healthy fear and, start battling it out, for extra minutes. Of course, New York Knicks face Atlanta today, or depending where you're at, today in the ATL. It's going to be a, sensational, juicy matchup. The New York Knicks have got a nice stretch here where they'll continue to, try and, gain momentum, surge above 500, for the first time in a long time. and it starts now. We'll touch on the results today around the league. A lot of great results went the New York Knicks' way. We had a lot of Eastern teams lose, including the Boston Celtics. Now the New York Knicks are above Boston, in the 10th spot, officially in the play-in now, in 10th spot, but, there's no need to rest on our laurels. We're headed straight up from here. Now. We continue to win. Hopefully we pull out 4 out of the next 5 out of the next 5, where we play, of course, Atlanta, Charlotte, then we play the T-Wolves, then we play, I believe we play also Toronto and Indy, I believe, before a tougher stretch. But all very, very, very winnable games. Detroit was in there. So, the New York Knicks need to take control, of this momentum they're gaining. Star J Barrett's on the rise, bringing in his boy Duke, Buddy. He's going to be even more, juiced up. We heard from RJ Barrett today. RJ Barrett gave a great interview. He talked about how excited he is, and that the New York Knicks actually spoke to him, about bringing Cam Reddish in. Before they did bring him in, they spoke to him. They also asked him, did anyone else from Duke outside of Cam, reach out to him? And he, his reaction gave that away. The rumors will continue to swirl about Zion, whichever side of the fence you sit on. We're going to chop it all up and shout out every single chat. It's the chat show. We hear Friday night, Illmatics. Not like we traded a rotational player for Cam. Yep, facts. It's a addition by addition, this trade. We didn't lose anything at all. And it's just a win-win. On the surface, it has the ability to be one of the best trades in franchise history. If you're very optimistic, it has, at least on surface, the ability to look as good as the Derrick Rose trade, to catapult us, onto big things this season. And Frank Martos, now that we have Cam, what's next? Yep, great question. A lot of trade buzz, amplified today with a lot of big names out there. De'Aaron Fox, rumors are getting louder out there in SAC. Of course, the Ben Simmons drama continues to go on like a soap opera. We have Donovan Mitchell rumblings out there in Utah that, a reporter came out and said that Miami or the New York Knicks would be Donovan's, only, first 2 choices. Leon Rose out for Redd-Venge. He's wheeling and dealing, out to show the league now that New York Knicks are taken seriously, right? You don't call the New York Knicks up to make a deal and expect to come the winner out of that deal. We have the assets. We have the smarts, the front office. They're all locked in. They're locked and loaded. They're smart men. They're out to do the fleecing for once, And the New York Knicks, for years and years and years, we were the LOL Knicks, right? We were the team that you'd call up and try to, and say, hey, give me all you got, right? But now the shoe's on the other foot, right? Leon Rose is out for revenge. He's making moves, and he's backed up by Brock Allah, World Wide West, and of course Jim Dolan's checkbook as well. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. Good evening, Sherwin. Salute. Of course, like I said, Cam Reddish's debut is going to be delayed, but I wouldn't think for very long. Ankle injury. He's trying to, work his way back from a minor ankle injury, and I think that's a smart move, right? Save him up for this stretch, this garden stretch against, maybe, Detroit, maybe the T-Wolves or the Detroit game would be an ideal game to bring, a healthy, fit Cam Reddish in for his garden debut, right? As Be Civilized enters the building. Salute, Knicks fam. Great day overall. Great week for the New York Knicks with this trade, but we don't stop here. The New York Knicks are locked and loaded, going to continue to be named, among all trade rumors, I think, right up until the deadline, just because of our flexibility. We have reporters, beat reporters saying that the New York Knicks are saving some assets as well for a bigger deal as well. So is this a precursor, in your eyes, the Cam Reddish move? Of course, it's still a prove it deal for Cam Reddish. We know his contract is going to be up next season. The New York Knicks are going to get a great look at Cam. I hope he gets all the minutes he can get. He deserves. Tibbs seems to be, or how can he not be happy, solidifying, bolstering that wing spot? Now we don't got to rely on Evan Fournier, Alec Burks, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett if he goes down or if he's not feeling it. We have extra help now. Now we'll talk about where do you see Cam fitting in, rotation wise. Where do you think that Reddish is the best, going to give his best impact on this team, right? Do you think it's starting minutes, or do you think initially off the bench? You think the 3 spot next to RJ? We're going to talk about that. For me, I can see Cam starting off the bench, working his way, into the rotation in terms of his minutes increasing, and I can see him being a fourth quarter player for this team. I can see him finishing games out in the fourth, and also see him working his way into the starting unit. If Evan Fournier gets dealt, Evan Fournier might get dealt still. He also, might hit some bad form. And we have that. It's great that we have Cam in here now, another high talent that can defend, ease RJ's load, and it's a great depth piece for us right now. And Illmatic does think Cam will come off the bench until he overtakes Evan. Great take on that one. I agree completely with that one. I think Evan Fournier, thankfully he's increased his trade value and he's increased his play, but you can't compare the two in terms of athleticism, defense, upside, handles, all of that. Cam Reddish can be really, really dangerous. And on that note, I'll say, for me, I was thinking about this last night. I think that Cam would get the most out of Cam with Julius and RJ on the floor together. Now I say that because it's going to be a really, really dangerous trio. You got Julius that commands the attention of the defense. Defenses obviously need to lock in on him. The double comes, they need to block the paint. Then you got RJ Barrett that's getting into the paint at will right now. Is gaining in confidence every single day. And I think you add an athletic, wing like Cam Reddish on the floor at the same time as having RJ and Randall on the floor at the same time. That's going to create an opportunity for Cam, to get the third, fourth best defenders on him. And with all the attention on the other guys, he's going to be able to eat. Cam Reddish is going to be able to get to the cup, use his athleticism, his dribble drive, and he's also a great passer as well. It's great passing, great court vision, and I think having those 3 on the court at the exact same time, it's going to create a lot of headaches for the defense out there. Whereas I think the bench is the bench. The bench is comfortable where it is right now with D Rose going to come back inevitably. You've still got Quickly, Grimes, and Obi, and you've got Taj or Noel out there as well. So I'm hoping for Cam to get off to a flying start, work his way in, increase his minutes as we go, and then end up in the starting unit, and also finishing games out. Cam Reddish will finish a lot of games out. He shoots 90% from the stripe and 48% from the corner 3. And, if his shooting's consistent, his D's consistent, he's going to play. So appreciate that Illmatic as well. Like he says, he thinks he'll come off the bench and he'll slowly win more minutes over and Tibbs over. Evan Fournier, like we've been saying, is the $19 million man. That contract is going to be needed to make some moves happen as well. So if the New York Knicks, by all reports, do have a big deal, a big blockbuster move, in the back of their mind that they're searching for, Evan Fournier's salary is going to be pretty critical to that, right? So I'm going to put it at a 50-50. If I had to put my thinking cap on, a 50-50 chance that Evan Fournier remains a New York Knick or he gets moved along in a big deal as well. What do you guys, where do you sit with Evan Fournier? With all the trade buzz like we talked about with Donovan Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, Harrison Barnes and Buddy Hield are also believed to be expected around the league to be moved. With that said, looks like Sacramento are going to be wheeling and dealing. Pat Riley doesn't like to sit quiet. Pat Riley's probably going to try and make some kind of moves, upgrades in Miami. There's a lot of deals out there that the New York Knicks can get involved in as well. And Sean says there must be a big trade coming for a point guard as well. I'm glad you mentioned that, Sherwin, the point guard spot. That's the biggest need for this team after getting Cam Reddish. We got our center spot relatively solidified. Fournier, as a surplus. We've got a few surplus at the wing, but the point guard spot, critical, right? We don't know what the future holds for Kemba Walker, D Rose, and the like, right? Some sophomore and rookie point guards as well. If Tibbs is trying to win now, let's look out for that, show. And I can see that definitely a big trade coming for him. You say Obi, IQ, Fournier, Walker, Noel, and picks for an all-star point as well. Sign me up for that. If it's Donovan Mitchell, even De'Aaron Fox, I definitely heavily consider that right now. He seems to be a all-star point guard type guard that's available. What do you guys sit on De'Aaron Fox right now? It's interesting because he came out and said in an interview, did De'Aaron Fox, that he, wouldn't be surprised if he gets moved because the Kings are losing. And to me, that it's not what you normally see, right? A player, a max player say those kinds of things so openly, and be civilized on the money to 60-40 chance that Evan is out of here as well. Yeah, I'm putting it at, I could see that 60 as well, that big juicy salary as well, be civilized. That could be the critical part to a massive deal, even a three-way. Sherwin, Obi, IQ, Fournier, Walker, Noel, and picks, for the all-star point. I can see that, what does Leon Rose have up his sleeve? And you do want to keep D Rose and Burks. You'd like to keep those two. They're gamers, vets that do help us win right now. At the same time, I wouldn't be mad if we move Burks for a future asset. Just keeping your eye on the future. But I could see those two staying as well, Sherwin, and D Rose. With Tibbs around, he's going to stay. I think he's going to stay for a while. And you're not a fan of Fox's overall complete game as well. Very, very obviously apprehensive, trading for a player that's not helping other teams win with his kind of salary. You definitely got to think twice about what you're giving out. And also you got to be willing to take on that huge salary for a number of years, Sherwin. And if he's not really, really an impact player or doesn't fit well, then, it's going to be a tough move to make. And I'm on the train of Darius Garland as well. He'd be a nice fit. DeJounte Murray, Donovan Mitchell are my two favorites that I'd love to see, rocking the New York Knicks jersey at the point, our future point gods for the New York Knicks' next championship. And Mansa, salute. Halliburton is the move, no Fox. Sign me up for that one as well. Sign me up. I'd take Halliburton here. I haven't heard his name put out there as much as De'Aaron's is, in terms of the Sacramento thinking. But if he's dangling, if he's available, then the New York Knicks should get involved in that. Nice young point guard with length, with size. He'd help out. He'd help the team out. And he doesn't have the salary, of course, that De'Aaron Fox comes with. And Allah Wise, the wise one up in here, peace. Going to need all your wise thoughts, on this New York Knicks chat show. Trade buzz growing around the league, right? Every single day, buckle up, strap yourself in, because every single day there's going to be a new rumor. Some of it's complete nonsense. Some of it there's real talk to it, and trust the trusted sources as well. Let's not all get fooled by the fake accounts and stuff like that. Check the Twitter handle or whatever it is you're looking at as well. Look for the reputable sources and we'll be all right. And, Leon Rose knows what's up. He's got every man's phone number in his phone book right now. So he's locked and loaded. He's ready to get his revenge on the league, for the New York Knicks being fleeced for so many years. And salute Ron, still Knicks fam up in here. Salute to the chat. Salute Ron and John, doing great work on the NBA Today show. And, keep it up. Nothing but Knicks fam. Keep up the great work with that. New York Knicks content, NBA content. It's a beautiful thing. And we're just up in here chilling tonight, talking about Cam Reddish. The debut delayed. but I don't think we'll have to wait too long for Cam's debut. It's probably going to come against the T-Wolves or the Detroit Pistons, I hope. And what's up, King Dizo? Salute. Back for more. Let's keep it rolling. Streets are buzzing. Do you guys trust Leon Rose? It's all about the front office making moves right now. He pulled off a nice trade. Haven't seen anybody disagree with the trade. It was a no-brainer. But does that mean you fully trust him now? Do you trust him to make that next backup solid move to make the cherry on top, right? Bring in that impact player that's going to take us to that next level. That's what it's all about, right? It's easy to pull off the no-brainer moves. The next move is where it gets dicey. Like we say, do you take on De'Aaron Fox's salary? Do you try to get involved in some other Ben Simmons things? Who else is out there? Harrison Barnes, Buddy Hield. What do you guys think about those pieces? It's interesting, Sacramento. I can't even recall us ever doing a deal with Sacramento in the history of our franchise. So that'd be interesting. And yep, a la Wise up in here, throwing flowers over at Still Knicks fam. Let's get it and keep it up, fellas. Yeah, the New York Knicks, man. That this train continues to roll. They are an easier stretch coming through. What do you guys think about the next 5 coming up? We have obviously ATL tonight, wherever you're at. It's going to be a huge precursor to getting above 500 and then getting on that roll so that we can steamroll these next 4 games. Charlotte one's going to be pretty dicey. Did you guys see LaMelo Ball? Cop those highlights today. He made a mockery of Orlando, made a mockery of them, and that's going to be tough. We need Charlotte. We need that one. We owe them big time for that collapse over there in Charlotte, and I think we will. I think we're going to come in hungry. That could be Cam's debut. I hope the sooner the better, but it's obviously not going to be tonight. At the ATL, Cam Reddish, nursing that sore ankle. Not too bad from all accounts. He's going to come in here. He's going to, I think he's going to acclimate real well. How can he not? Length, size, defense, that fits into any team right now. He's got handles. He can handle it. He's a former point guard. He's going to handle some ball relieving duties as well. Does that make Alec Burks expendable? Let's see. And Mansa says, he would only take Ben if Julius is out of here as well. That makes a lot of sense too, Mansa, for me too. In terms of the fit for this team, Ben Simmons defends. He gets up and down in transition, makes it easy for Obi and the like. I think bringing in Ben, you would probably need to clear that spot, for ball dominant duties, and and Julius going over there in Philly. Over there to help Joel Embiid, because they want to vet, they want to continue to compete to Philly, and that's going to be really interesting. The noise is sort of quieting on Julius a little bit with the boos. He put in a great performance the other night against Dallas, his home team though. Let's see how he looks in the ATL. Had some struggles in the ATL, right? They have the blueprint to force Julius into tough shots. Let's see if Julius has really, really grown as a player mentally, the scouting report, etc. Because the Atlanta Hawks saw us for 5 games in the playoffs last season, right, in the postseason, and they know what it takes to make it life tough for Julius. Allah says he looks at the roster and can see another move coming like Rose, but I never trust the thief. Great comment. Hey, his wallets, he's got wallets of everybody because he's a thief in the night right now. Power agent Leon Rose, Don Leon, making big moves up in here. Big moves are heavy. I trust him for now. He's not really done much to hurt the team. Now, where I believe critique is is justified is a lot of people saying all right, make that big splash. It's all good to make prudent moves, kick the can along the road for a couple of years, pull off the no-brainer trade. But what have you done for us in terms of big splash? Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, Leon Rose struck out in free agency. He seems to be a much better draft president and also making trades versus free agency. Be civilized. Whomever we get has to be a team first type of player whom reps New York City squad, not the name on the back of the jersey. Yep, absolutely. Same mantra for me, man. Appreciate that good insight. That doesn't get spoken of a lot in this microwave era of all-star, accolades people want. They want to get their stats, their numbers up. They want to be all rookie team, all defense team. They want to be on Sports Center every night, all of that, right? But you know what's sexy? Winning. Winning sexy. Winning gets you higher contracts. Winning gets you paid. Winning gets you respect. Winning gets you a legacy out here. So, preach team ball and kick out the divas. Don't bring no head cases in here. Don't bring no divas. Just bring in team first dudes, right? That and also dudes that are willing to take a step back, right? If RJ's shining, a player that's not going to be afraid to let RJ come up and shine, the futures of the franchise. And Sean says Obi will be getting the Knox treatment now. He will be soon taken out of the rotation. Well, that's a bold statement, bold prediction from Sherwin. Let's see. I wouldn't put it past Tibbs. Tibbs ain't the biggest fan of Obi. That's going to be something real interesting to see, fellas, ladies, chat, everyone. Salute John, salute fam. We hear. What did you guys think of the deal? You happy for the Cam Reddish to take all the minutes he can get? Does that mean Evan Fournier is out of here? But either way, Leon Rose is the man to trust for me right now. He's making the smart moves. He's getting cap flexibility. He's helping other teams, building relationships. We are functioning like a normal organization, like we've been wanting, right, for most of our lives, right? And especially myself as a 30-year Knick fan, right? I'm used to seeing us, being on the bad end of a trade. Other GMs trying to fleece first-round picks from us, and the like. Now we are respected, right? You call the New York Knicks, you're not going to get, you're not going to get a deal done too easy, because like we said, what was reported, Quentin Grimes, they wanted, and we told them to kick rocks, right? We ain't parting with Quentin Grimes. If that was Steve Mills, probably Isaiah Thomas, somebody else. They would have been quick to acquiesce, in fear of losing Cam Reddish, or in fear of losing the deal, let the deal fall through. No, but Leon Rose, expert poker player, championship poker player, Leon Rose, called their bluff on that one. Salute to the chat. Everybody up in here strong. Streets are buzzing. Allah wise. CT, a lot of fans were mad when we traded back in the draft. But now that we got Cam with the pick, we got out of it, they have to understand the depth of the thought that goes into the process. Absolutely. Very, very, very thoughtful, deep comment, Allah wise, as always. That's why you never, I guess, jump off the ledge to what Allah is saying. When the Knicks make a move, it might be a precursor to what they're thinking in the future. And it's a message to everybody not to overreact right in that moment, not to overreact or judge a move or a trade until maybe a year down the line, or maybe even a couple of years. The Kristaps Porzingis deal tree, has so many tree branches right now that you're still evaluating the trade. Even though I still think we won that trade, but in terms of how much we won it, it's still, the tree branches are growing and growing off that. So yeah, I couldn't agree more with that one. I wasn't mad. I'm not just saying this now, but I wasn't mad at all when we traded back. Part of me was thinking, okay, that first round pick, I was like, okay, we traded back. We got the first from Charlotte. It's not a great first. I was thinking, okay, let's see who we draft. We came out with Quentin Grimes, came out with Deuce, Rokas, Sims. I'm good with that. I'm absolutely good with that. And I think, classic example that you just don't, judge the move straight away. And appreciate you, John. Appreciate, this is the 2017 draft night cap as well. Unfortunately, Frankie's not here no more, but I think still like the cap. Salute Quiet Money. Hope you had a beautiful week. Great day. This New York Knicks buzz is growing by the day. It feels great, right? It feels like another mini off season. This trade deadline, and of course, ESPN and the like going to be doing more trade show specials. Probably that 24-hour trade deadline show. But I was saying last night, now with this big deal out the way, we sort of can breathe a sigh of relief. Breathe easy. We don't have to lose any sleep looking at our phone on the draft night just to see if the New York Knicks are going to do anything, right? We were lazy the last couple drafts outside of the D Rose move, but Leon Rose is strapped in. He's got his personal assistants with phones. They've got phones and phones ready to answer, and the chat's here strong. Trading back to a weaker with a protected 18th pick. Should have got Leon Rose fired. Sherwin wasn't a fan of the move just because of the protections on that pick. But you can't really argue now. Sherwin, the pick got us Cam Reddish. At the time, some people weren't happy with it, but a heavily protected pick and Kevin Knox, a surplus piece for our spare part that got us Cam. So it was he made lemonade out of lemons with that one. Salute Shah Legacy, salute fam, salute. So with that said, RJ Barrett is on the rise. We bring in Cam Reddish. How do you guys see him fitting into this squad chemistry wise? Like I said, I really see a bright lineup with Randall, RJ, and Cam all on the floor at the same time. And then the point guard, obviously, whoever you throw there, whether it be Burks, IQ, and then Mitch as well. And I'd love to see Evan go to the bench. Evan Fournier, I'd love to see him eat off the bench. That'd be nice for me. Because, like I was saying, Cam offers a dynamic other players don't have on this squad. He's got the 6'8" size and length to get to the cup. With his handle, he can put enormous stress on the defense, right? And then with Julius and RJ on the floor at the same time, the defense already got to be keyed in and clued in on them, right? So we've struggled at times not having that third dude to put enormous stress on the D, right? Evan Fournier, he can do it from time to time, but I think Cam is going to get a lot of shine, a lot of juice with Julius and RJ on the floor at the same time. That's going to give us a three-man look that is going to be potent offensively. The defenses won't really be able to key on 1 to 2 dudes. Cam Reddish, always a dribble drive threat, and as well as he can hit the corner J at a great clip. And let's hope that he continues to develop his shot more around the arc as well. With that, so they're my thoughts in terms of how Cam will fit in as well. And also in terms of just the locker room, the mood, and touching on that, trade season, players always looking over their shoulder. I think the fact that Quentin Grimes knows, he's got to feel a really good sigh of relief. Quentin Grimes left out of the deal. He knows all about that now. And he knows that the New York Knicks got his back, believe in him. He's a big piece for the future. How does that make you feel if, another team calls for your name and your franchise in your rookie season says, no, we ain't trading this guy? So big thumbs up for Quentin Grimes, a sigh of relief for him. He's got big things happening in New York, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play more. John says it's going to be nice to see if the Knicks decide to stick with Evan. I'll be surprised to see him start under Tibbs. However, he will get a chance to end games and play 20-plus minutes if he plays well. Yep, absolutely, John, I agree with that one. Fourth quarter player, he'll offer a lot. 90% from the stripe, dribble drive threat as well. Only 21 years old, so still learning, still growing. Got a lot of confidence, used to handling the rock as a point guard. And I just think it's going to be such a dynamic look with RJ, a bully, able to put a lot of stress on the D, getting to the cup. And then you add another third dude that can eat and get to the cup at any point. And of course, we know Julius is a tractor bulldozer getting to the cup too. So look for the teams to pack the paint a lot more and hopefully get us a lot more open looks. Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett shooting the threes. Look for that more. And Allah says hopefully our staff can keep Cam healthy. That is the main thing with him, with Allah. I agree. There is that is, I guess, something Cam comes with. Played only 27 games last season. This season he's played a lot more, which is great. Played a lot more this season. Had a small wrist injury and now the ankle injury, but nothing serious. That's the main thing. Let's hope our staff can keep Cam in tip-top shape. And again, I don't think you got to play really heavy minutes early on. Let's continue to rock Fournier, at least up until the trade deadline. Let's see what happens with that. It's a roller coaster season. I feel like there's a lot more twists and turns in the next 3 weeks because we do play a lot more games till the final deadline. So fingers crossed everybody stays healthy. We're going to be real active. Leon the Don got everyone's phone number saved, and he's ready to fleece. And salute Quiet Money again. Allah, maybe Obi playing shaky. Yeah, because he's nervous. He might get moved as well. Another great comment, on fire with this one, Allah. He definitely, it's clear to see Obi Toppin is playing a lot more tighter. And I think he's sick of Tibbs. He's sick of the situation right now. 9 minutes, 11 minutes. Highlight dunks, ecstasy 1 minute, all over Sports Center, and then the next minute riding the pine. It's a lot mentally for a young player, right? A young pro trying to come up in the league. He doesn't know whether he's staying, he's going. Fans love him, but his employer, his coach tells him, no, sit down. It's got to confuse the young man right now. And he's definitely playing a bit, he's losing some of that confidence. I don't think it's ever going to be something critical. Obi's always going to have confidence, but it's definitely a bit shaken at the minute. And I salute Eric. Big thumbs up. Let's get it. Be Civilized says, to John from Still Knicks fam. Yep. He feels that if the basketball destiny is in Evan's hands more than ever now, because if Evan plays inconsistent, Cam will be right there to take that bright spot. And I feel that need for us, right? Two-way player, Cam Reddish. That's something that Evan Fournier is not. Evan Fournier is not a two-way player, right? He's a one-way player, can light you up on offense. Cam Reddish is obviously still growing, developing in his game, but he's got to be the one a little bit shaken as well. He knows that his 19 mil is critical to a deal. And John says, CT, is there a guard that I'm interested in pursuing before the trade deadline? There is, John, definitely, but I don't think they're gettable. DeJounte Murray and Spider Mitchell, kick the tires on them. But in terms of gettable guards, I think, maybe a stopgap if they're not wanting to commit too much. Maybe Kendrick Nunn. I could see that being realistic. Jalen Brunson, super realistic as well. I think, out of that, I'm happy riding it out. If there's no deal to be had, riding out this season and then seeing what we can get. I wouldn't be mad at the Fox deal, but of course I've got to see what's going out, what we're getting back. De'Aaron Fox's money concerns me because it obviously limits our ability to build around our current guys. Cam and RJ Barrett are going to have to get paid soon. Mitchell Robinson's going to have to get paid soon. We bring De'Aaron Fox's salary in here, it's going to be tough. And Evan Fournier definitely has to go out. Who do you want to see in terms of a guard? And I also think we need to prioritize Deuce McBride and Rokas. They could be our point guards of the future. And otherwise, to Quiet Money facts, he limited, but he hasn't really gave us anything the last few. And salute L, great show tonight. For the love of the game, back in action in full effect. Great show, fellas. Salute Canal, salute. We up in here. Streets are buzzing. Mod squad, salute to everybody. New York Knicks fans are the best fans in the world. We're strong, we're heavy. We ride or die through the ups and downs. And hopefully the only way is up from here on out. I'm going to touch on the Eastern games tonight, but a lot of results went our way. A lot of results went our way tonight. Toronto lost, Boston lost, Charlotte lost. I think Chicago lost. And Alas is Cam being on the bench is going to push these guys to play better, even more, better or worse. Facts, straight facts with that one. Who's made of steel? Who's tough mentally now? That's going to be shown. Is Evan Fournier going to crack? Is Quentin Grimes just going to look more like a rookie now? I believe Tibbs really loves Quentin Grimes. I think if anything, his minutes will go down a few. He might go back to situational if Cam starts to really come in here and take a stranglehold on his role. And I salute Jarvis, salute fam, doing big things, that everyone in the chat, let's get it. And Sherwin says DeJounte Murray, Donovan Mitchell are not point guards, the combo guards. Brunson plays very little D. Yeah, Brunson undersized, but would be an upgrade. Would be an upgrade to who we got. Sherwin, Leon Rose, the Don, all about the Mob family. Rick Brunson, long-term connections. I think that's what they're probably looking at. They're looking at what's gettable right now. But some concerns about Brunson's D, and worldwide L in the ATL going to the big game tomorrow, blessing the arena. State Farm going to be shouting everybody out that night. Appreciate it. Let's get it. Quiet. We all see a winning streak coming. Facts. Let's get it. Let's knock the head off of Trae Young. With Cam Reddish smiling on the bench. Let's then get Charlotte back. Let's give them what's just deserves from that collapse in Charlotte. Then let's take it back home. Let's knock off the T-Wolves. Let RJ show Ant Edwards, that he was acting a fool. Let's show Karl Anthony Towns that we're for real. And let's knock off Detroit again. We could probably play our G League squad and still beat Detroit. And I think we'll get up 4 games above 500 before we hit Miami, Milwaukee, and the deathly road trip as well. John says, Cam will for sure get buckets playing in the second unit. Yeah, he's a straight walk-in bucket, Cam, and I feel like he's going to play with a new lease of life. Confidence, loose, playing with a player. He spent his college days with. Tom Thibodeau is going to get the best out of him, as well as the coaching development staff, Johnny Bryant, Kenny Payne, the like. I just think, Cam's going to be around. I think I can see that definitely us extending him as well. Salute King Dizo, Quiet Money, salute, hope everyone's well. And a man-child salute. Atlanta were minus 10 per 100 with Reddish on the court, and a plus a 5.7 per 100 without him as well. I've seen those numbers too. Definitely, something you got to pay attention to. I'm glad you put that out there. Like I said, fresh start for Cam, a new coaching staff first and foremost. Coaching staff that believe in you. Hopefully, we want to play in minutes. We spent assets to get him here. If we believe in him and we put him in a position where he wants to play well and shine next to RJ, he knows that he's about to, chance to get paid. I think we'll see the best of Cam Reddish. I think we'll see the best of him in New York City. And Jarvis, he thinks D Rose absence has also affected Obi's play. On the money, always on the money, Jarvis with that one. D Rose is a big dude to unlock Obi's game. Salute the Fishers. Salute, hope you're well. And Eric's on the money. Big test for RJ today. DeAndre Hunter back. Gave us fits in the playoffs. I'd love to, stick one to them, to ATL, right? They're 17 and whatever record they are right now. They're ready to try and make some bigger moves. They're panicking right now. Leon Rose left them red-faced, and we can add further salt to the wounds, right? When we knock their head off tonight. Canal wondering what Orlando sees as Anthony's future with them. They have a couple guards. Straight facts, they have a couple guards. They have about 6 or 7. Markel Fultz, RJ Hampton, Suggs, Cole, like you said it, that's going to be interesting. Scott Perry has strong ties to Orlando Magic. I think they're a very, very likely trade partner, if I'm being honest. Terrence Ross is out there being dangled as well. And the Fishers, we need to trade for our point guard right now. The Alec Burks thing, I'm ride or die with him. He's here, but it's not my first choice, if I'm being honest. He needs to go back to his preferred role. And Ilmatics, all things considered, we are record-wise where we were last season, but we have far better roster and far better upside. Facts. And we have a Derrick Rose that's not even playing right now. So, we did make some upgrades. We've dealt with Kemba Walker out most of the season, but Evan Fournier is coming around. Even if he stays, if Evan Fournier continues to give us this kind of output, I'm not mad at that. Not mad at all. I just hope we play Boston every night. And quite money on the money agrees with Jarvis. But let's see. You know where you are as a player when you need C. Salute. Canal is going to the game tonight as well. You were hoping Reddish was playing, but it's okay. Hey, you're in the ATL. All is okay. You're going to have a great time. Rock out with the New York Knicks and get the dub there. Send us a nice photo of that. With L, link up. Everybody that's going to the game, all link up. Share your digits, whatever it is. It's going to be a New York City home game tonight as well. And the Trae Young chants are going to be out there. We're sure we'll be sure to tell Mitch kill Capella as well. I think he will. Mitch is out there. He knows he was frustrated missing that playoff series. Mitch is out here, really, really putting his best foot forward. Mitchell Robinson, this consistency every single time he gets to this point. He's been injured, unfortunately. Let's hope he just gets to where he needs to be and takes that next step and continues to ascend. And they look for him as well. It's important to use Mitch when he's on the floor, right? We can't keep playing 4-on-5. If he has the mismatch, throw it down low, look for him on the lob. Point guard play is pivotal. And L with the breaking news, appreciate you. Capella's out. He's heard that the Mitches and the Knicks are in town, and he wanted to take his vacation early. Capella can't stand the heat. He's out of here. And we need to pluck those feathers and make hawk roasted chicken for dinner, chicken stew. Be civilized. Facts. And Eric says, Julius, take control over the game. No rim protection when Capella is out. Yep, great comment. Eric already looking at the X's and O's and how the game will go, right? Bully ball in full effect tomorrow night. Star J Barrett and Julius Randle getting to the cup. Mitchell Robinson throwing it down on whoever their makeshift center is. And I'm here for it. Yeah, Worldwide L, I ain't know that, but yeah, Capella out. We've faced a lot of teams with some injury issues as well as our injury issues, but we're getting healthy. We're getting healthy at the right time. And quite money, and Mitch has been a beast lately as well. I think it was the weight. The weight was just holding him back. If he entered the season with the weight he's currently playing at, look out. Mitchell Robinson's on the ascend, and Juju's hype for the game. Give us your predictions as well. We got the pre-game show, Divine Knicks Real Talk, doing a pre-game tomorrow as well. New York Knicks fans will be heavy in the building. It's going to be lightning. Cam Reddish up in there in street clothes. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Kevin Knox as well. Kevin Knox won't play tomorrow, unfortunately. Would have liked to see him throw a few bricks for the Atlanta Hawks. But, straight stir-fried KFC chicken as well. Let's get it. And, with the silk rayon blended fitted. Yep, you see. I've got to get me I love the RJ Barrett draft cap as well. Got to get that one. And add some lemon pepper, says L. Add the lemon pepper on that one for sure. Make it even more tasty. That dub tomorrow is going to be tasty, L. Where are you going to go out to celebrate, L? You may as well make plans now and, hit up some of the bars and clubs, in celebration because the dub's going to be there. New York Knicks fleeced Atlanta in the front office, fleecing them off the court, and we're going to thrash them on the court as well. Kevin Knox, wish the best for him. He's going to find it difficult to get minutes. Let's be honest. If Cam couldn't get minutes in the ATL, then how the hell is Kevin Knox going to get minutes? Kevin Knox, wish you well, but he might be playing in the G League next season. And Eric Quentin Grimes bully Trae Young, make him work grime time. Yep, lock him up. And I think the key to our defense getting better is switchable lineups. Tibbs gets a hard on for switchable lineups, right? That's why he loved Elfrid Payton so much, right? With Quentin Grimes, Cam Reddish out there, RJ Barrett, Alec Burks, a lot of switchable lineups. What do you guys think about that? Every single time someone tries to fleece us on the pick and roll, the other defender can switch automatically with size, right? With Burks, Grimes, Star J, Cam Reddish, we're no shorter than 6'4" on the court. So that's going to be a huge element, to this season as we continue to go. Appreciate all New York Knicks platforms and fans up in here. You guys make this, it's the chat show. I'm feeding off all your energy, thoughts, trades. Tell us what you're thinking around the league as well. I'm excited for Quentin Grimes, and I'm so excited that we kept him out of the deal. Like, the deal would have been looked at yesterday at such a different light if Quentin Grimes was going to Atlanta. We'd probably have a lot of fans online, upset with the trade, whereas I'm not seeing anybody upset with it right now. And credit to Leon Rose getting his revenge. This is what it's all about, right? Putting respect on the New York Knicks organization, front office, and making it hard to deal with, knowing when to say no, knowing that we're coming from a position of power. We're coming from a position of having assets. So we're not going to give up anything, unless we think like it's worth it, and we got dudes cooking in the G League. Lucas Samanic, do you guys think he's part of the future? Rokas balling out in Europe right now. One of the best point guards in Europe, playing for Barcelona. Thank you, Sam Presti, for that deal. And Leon Rose for solidifying that. You got Daryl Morey looking like a fool, acting a fool here. Just fining Ben Simmons all the time, not doing anything. Rejecting all these players. Every single day it seems like I see an article that Philly are not interested in this player or not interested in that player. But that's all good and well. But if they want to just continue to pay Ben Simmons to do nothing, sit on his couch, then suits them. And Juju, can you imagine Knox just walking into the Hawks locker room for the first game? I wonder how he feels going to the Hawks. A great insight. I hadn't thought of that element. I guess there's a lot of personal element to the game and the players. I guess he didn't even play against the Hawks in the playoffs, so he's got to be happy for a fresh start. He's Kevin Knox. And John wants to see IQ start the games with the first unit, and then play Burks off the second unit with Cam as well, with size. That'd be nice. I just hope, Quentin Grimes doesn't lose as many minutes. And like we say, precursor, maybe Alec Burks, Evan Fournier get moved. And maybe this Cam deal doesn't create as big of a logjam as we thought it might do, right? So let's hold our horses. Let's wait to see what else shakes loose. But certainly, it's going to light a fire under some dudes. They definitely need to start playing better. And actually, Be Civilized says, actually, it was a report out stating that he loves to play with a dynamite point guard in Trae. Yeah, I saw that one as well. Not that he's even going to get minutes with Trae, I don't think. And Allah says, Knicks fans, I like that too. To John, still don't want IQ in foul trouble, though, like last game as well. Yeah, that's going to be critical. What do you guys think about the Kemba Walker situation? Everything we're hearing is he's close to coming back, but then, he's being held out. It could be the arthritic issue, that never goes away, but it also could be the fact that they're, saving him for that blockbuster deal. And Canal says he thinks the Knicks will make the blockbuster by the deadline. We just got too many players that deserve minutes. Yep, absolutely. We're deep. We're almost too deep right now. And I'd love to get off some salary. Yeah, and also, yeah, Eric, we see a winning streak coming. Let's go. Let's sweep the next 5. We got Detroit, T-Wolves, Charlotte, ATL tonight. And I think we've got Toronto as well. And a salute to everybody, the chat, the mod squad. John Steele, Knicks fan. Rokas, only 1 year removed. That's how he plays in the summer league again. Yeah, if he outplays our guards, I'm sure Tibbs would love to, give him a spot. Yeah, absolutely. And also, we know how difficult the European contracts to get out of are. The buyout situation. Apparently, Barcelona are falling in love with him and want him as their future point guard for a 3-year deal. So maybe we just we just let him rock over there for a bit more, and bring him in when he's ripe. And Sean says, he's hoping Tibbs does the right thing, and give Grimes all of IQ's minutes as well. Grimes and IQ, they've both improved defenders, and I think Tibbs would be good with either one of them. And Ilmatics can't see Tibbs signing off on losing 2 vets, though, to give the keys to the kids. Yeah, spot on with that one as well. He wants winning pieces. He wants to add more pieces, I think. And what do you guys think about Karis LeVert? There's rumors Karis LeVert's out there as well. I don't know that we need another wing, but he would be a nice upgrade to Alec Burks, that's for sure. And a worldwide, I'm going to check it out. You saw Jay Boog at the game as well. Yeah, hopefully you guys can continue to rock in the ATL. And Kemba's going to screw the momentum we have now. Yeah, I could see that happening too. Just the fact that he comes in for a night, then goes out for a night. It's going to be tough, man. I mean, I love Kemba as a person. He's not the same player he was, And I just think, Kemba needs to realize who he is right now. And great question, Juju. What is Cam Reddish's ceiling? In my opinion, in our opinion, it's hard to say at 21 years old, but I look at Cam next to RJ. I don't see any reason they couldn't be our Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown together, right? But more consistent, more consistent, more team guys, more team first guys. And Ajay, salute. We have to beat Toronto. Absolutely. I'd love to get them back. And Quiet, not a fan of Kemba on this team, but I'm sure he may not play another game. I think Tibbs doesn't like him. Leon Rose knows that he can save face. It was only a plan B backup, publicity move. Kemba Walker, it hasn't worked out. I wish him well, for his health. But he may not play another game. And we don't want nothing from Indy as well, from Allah and Quiet. Definitely, they've got a lot of pieces they do want to throw out there. You've got to be apprehensive, when teams are wanting to blow it up and asking for the sun and the moon, when they want to make a deal. Like, that's just crazy right there. You're losing. You're not coming from a position of power, Indy, right? Who are you to ask for the farm for Miles Turner, right, when he's not helping you win? So some of these teams need to check themselves, Daryl Morey included. You know what I mean? He rejects a Ben Simmons for James Harden deal, but then and then he's stuck. He can't find any other deal out there, So as a New York Knicks fan, I'm happy with this dysfunction in Philly, right? Let that blow up on them. Waste a year of Joel Embiid's prime. And Eric says we have to force Trey to shoot. Look how he played Luka, make him a shooter and not a passer as well. Facts, right? Mitch has improved too with Noel here on the icing the pick and roll, getting up on Trey. Noel does great at picking the steal, the dribble. When you sag back and let Trey into the paint, let him make that floater, pass, or foul, that's when he's dangerous. So, just make him a shooter. We don't want LeVert, because he's up and down with the health issues as well. Another headache we don't need, right? Health issues, salary, future to think about. Cam Reddish was our LeVert move, I think. And I'm okay with that. And Be Civilized echoes the same thing. We need our flawed general, straight facts with that one. we've been waiting. We'll be old and grey till we finally get a point guard, right? The New York Knicks' future point guard might not even be born yet. We've been waiting that long. Eric says, we need a backup center who can score, as Noel cannot. Stonehands, Nerlens Noel. He's a piece that's going to be gone, I think. Nerlens can't really stay healthy, but he can also really help a team if he is healthy. I'd love to get off the 10 mil. And Kemba was an experiment gone wrong, a science experiment, publicity move. Not mad at the gamble. It was a gamble. $8 million. Didn't hurt us in terms of salary, but if we can get something for him, let's do it. And Atlanta screwed the pooch when they traded Luka for Trae Young as well, and now they lost Cam Reddish, who they also got in that deal. And I salute John. Have a blessed night to all Knicks fam in the chat as well. You got your early start. Peace, blessings. Have a great day tomorrow, and let's get that dub. Manchot Maury said it might take till draft night to trade Simmons. He even said that this could go on for years, right? How foolish does that sound, right? You're going to sit a guy for years and fine them? If you're a Philadelphia 76ers player, what does that make you think when you hear your GM preach that stupidity, right? You're laying your heart and soul on the line every night, and you're like, oh, this could go on for years. I mean, that's dysfunction. And we're good with Mitch and Sims yet for the future as well. And salute Delano. Got the streets buzzing. Does Delano always appreciate you? Wise knowledge. Let's get it. ATL tomorrow. Where do we sit with the season series? I'm a miss to the season series against the ATL. Can the chat let me know? But it is a critical conference game. We could go up. We beat Atlanta. We can almost put the nail in their coffin in terms of passing them this season. They're 2-3 games below us. We beat them tonight, and it's another 2-game swing as well. And Jarvis, if we can't trade Kemba, do we buy him out? Great question, Jarvis. I think we're probably it's going to get awkward if we can't trade him and we try to trade him. I think we're going to have to buy him out. I think definitely that's probably going to be the only thing, and do the right thing by him. A New York native, let him, try to chase a ring with it. The LA Lakers, the LA Clippers. I think that'd be a nice fit out there. Let's hope he doesn't go to some Eastern team and then light us up later. Suddenly he goes to another team and his knees heal up. Salute and appreciate everyone. Ajay, we're 2-0 on them. Wow, we are 2-0 up on Atlanta. Yet we waxed them Christmas Day, and obviously we beat them just before that in the ATL as well. So with the win tonight, we go up on we sweep, we clear the season series on them as well. So that's great. I hope everyone's well. De'Aaron Fox, a lot of fans are interested in that deal. Some fans are not. What De'Aaron Fox, to my knowledge, he's got 2 more years. I think he signed the Supermax, I'm going to say 2 years ago. Maybe he's got 2 more years left. Having that kind of money expire in 2 years wouldn't be bad, actually. Wouldn't, whether he's the right guy or not, math-wise, that might work out, finance-wise. If he's only got 2 more years, I just hope, Sacramento, they're not coming from no position of power, so they shouldn't be asking for anything, too massive. With De'Aaron Fox, he's not even helping them win right now. But it's all about the point guard situation right now. Throw some more names out there because we need this point guard situation solved. Somebody who's going to take away some dribbling from Julius, right? Or do you want RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish to be those ones that run the point for us? If we don't find a point guard, does that mean Alec Burks is the dude that hangs around, and we just hold on to Alec Burks? That's another big factor, right? Him and Quickly, they might just be the makeshift point guards for us for the rest of the year, right? I think Tibbs likes the fact that they can switch. And Ajay, Fox doesn't fit with Julius, RJ, and the Cam lineup as well. Yeah, I agree with that. Right, 3 dudes that need the ball, and also with Swiper Fox, as well. Maybe we need a more Malcolm Brogdon type point guard. A point guard that can play off the ball a lot. And Delano says if he was to make the deal with Sack, he'd have to rather go for Tyrese Halliburton. Yep, I can see that too. Fits with Tibbs' system, can shoot, can defend, got length as well. Yeah, he can play off the ball, like I said. And to Jarvis, he doesn't think the front office will buy him out after all they did to get him as well. So yeah, that's a great point. I can see that happening as well. The great thing is, we're in a position of power right now. We're not in a position to panic about anything. We don't need to make a move, but I think there will be more moves coming. Look out for the buzz every day. Don't get fleeced by these fake accounts as well. And also know that a lot of agents leak stuff out for their clients. They want their clients to get more attention. Look for more, even organizations leak things out, right? Sacramento might be leaking the Fox thing out just to see what's interested, And Tyrese might be available. There's a surplus there, ladies and gents. You got Davian Mitchell, Fox, Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and of course Harrison Barnes on the Sacramento. They're a hot mess every year. They keep stacking young assets. Marvin Bagley, nothing ever comes of that, right? The lowly Minnesota Timberwolves have made a better go at rebuilding than Sacramento, right? Minnesota Timberwolves, they're putting some pieces together and are in the playoff hunt right now. Yeah, and AJ is a Brunson follower. Would like to see Brunson fit here perfectly. The connections are there. Ian Begley said today as well on the putback. Great show. Check that one out. He says he would never rule out Brunson coming until the day Brunson retires, basically due to all the solid connections. And Solomon Hill is on an expiring, plus he's out for the season yet due to the injury. Yep, he certainly is. DSJ is feeling better. Appreciate him. Prayers up. Hope you're feeling better. Glad you're feeling better. I like Halliburton, but Tibbs likes guards that can get to the paint. He more like a 2 in my opinion. Maybe I got to watch him a bit more. That's also true. Halliburton's not great point guard penetration wise. He's not the best in point guard penetration. We need someone that can collapse the D as well. Salute D. Salute. Point guard situation. What do you want to see? The Fishers, throwing some good names. Kendrick Nunn. I was saying that one too. Low risk move. Markel Fultz, DeJounte, and Anthony Simons. That's another great name to look out for. And also Orlando have a lot more than Fultz. They've got RJ Hunter, Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony. They're going to have to make some decisions, right? As we have to make a decision on Obi, right? I've been saying 12 months. We cannot continue to let this Obi situation play out the way that it's playing out, right? It's ridiculous. Yet Sacramento is a dumpster fire, They're consistently good at that. Absolutely, makes us feel a lot more good about ourselves, and the way this team's run. But just to recap, the trade, some extra news came out about the New York Knicks getting a few extra things out of this trade with Atlanta. We got $800,000 in cash considerations, which paid for the Solomon Hill deal to take him on. And we also created a $1.2 million trade exception as well. And trade exceptions are good to be traded. They're valuable to other teams and us possibly. So this trade just got better and better. Solid work, Took the Hawks to school on that one. Jarvis, it's all love. Appreciate checking in as well. It's a brotherhood up in here. New York Knicks fam for life. Eric, how about Dennis Schroeder? We can easily make a good deal fit. He will be a fit in the system as well. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what Boston do as well, Eric. He's on a 1 year, mid-level deal. Dennis Schroeder is not, not being awful, but he's also not, really helping Boston. Maybe they do want to explore a deal for that one. And hope Rokas pans out. Me too, man, child. He's looking the goods. I tell you what, for a 21-year-old, Rokas up in here, getting things done. And I appreciate your update, Jarvis. Yep. Delano, Jarvis, unfortunately been battling COVID. Thank you that you're both starting to feel better. Hey, prayers up, both of you, fam, up in here strong. And I'm glad you guys are starting to feel better. This thing's no joke. It's running amok down here as well at my work, my city, everywhere in the world. And just look after yourself, your loved ones, your family. And Ajay, Leon Rose pulled the Jedi mind trick on them. Seriously. Yep. Tomorrow I'll probably wake up and find out there was a brand new asset we gained in the deal, right? Maybe we'll find out we grabbed, another, the ability to swap that second round pick, that Brooklyn pick. And Allah, that trade exception has value. Absolutely. Yeah, I know it's only 1.2 mil or something, but that is something you can just throw around in little deals. And that all makes it a big play, especially with the 13,000 second round picks we have in the high school draft. And it's Delano says, too bad Davian wasn't made available too. Yeah, that's surprising. Maybe that's the dude they've identified and rock with, because his defense is on point. Facts, yeah. His dribble penetration would help us a lot. I think Tibbs would really like Davian as well. He's a Tibbs kind of dude. And salute brother from down under, South Gooner, 86. Let's get another one. He's also out with COVID until Thursday. Plus, side, you get to watch a few games live with us, gents. Hey, it's no joke out there. Obviously, I'm glad you're okay, South. Prayers up. And it's a positive that comes out of the negative. But let's continue to get these dubs. And word, Allah, we got to keep our protocols tight, individually, collectively. This thing ain't playing, and the league's slowly starting to get a bit better at the situation with that, and we're starting to see more moves. Right, I think. Also, in terms of going back to the topic, Leon Rose putting the league on notice, showing all the GMs this is how you get it done. Right, while all you dudes are sitting going through the numbers, before the trade deadline, we've made our move. We're making moves already, right? So Leon the Don, shout out, and and quiet, but he's a fighter straight through and through, orange and blue. Quiet Money is a fighter, and Manchot, he had COVID last year. I feel what you guys are going through, and wish everybody a speedy recovery. Yeah, absolutely, facts to everybody out there that's either got COVID, had COVID, someone that's going through it. It's a crazy situation, and we all just got to handle our business. And salute to everybody. The chat show rocking with me. Friday night Knicks. We're in the ATL. Knicks fam in there strong tonight. We got L that I know of. Who else we got? We got everyone else that's going to be rocking along. It's going to be massive in the building. The representation going to be up in there strong. Heckling Trae Young, getting up in there, and making our presence felt. In terms of other rumblings around the league, we know Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes. I've been hearing a lot of Knick fans interested in those names. Of course, Harrison Barnes. We're locked and loaded at the 4 and 3 spots. No room for Harrison Barnes, but Buddy Hield doesn't move the needle for me. He's probably better out in LA Lakers land. But if we move Evan Fournier, I'd entertain that. Evan Fournier, do you guys think of any particular suitors that that would benefit from Evan Fournier. I think LA Lakers, he'd definitely help LeBron space the floor, AD space the floor. That comes to mind. Evan Fournier, his play of late's got better and better. When he's lighting it up on national television, that's only good for us, and the trade, the trade possibilities. And Eric, do I think a trade is coming? We have a lot of picks to make a move. Absolutely, more moves to come. I think 100% on the money. I think we got the Dallas pick. Look for that one. That's still protected. Dallas 2023. I've been saying for a while, I don't think Tibbs really cares for these picks. I don't think Leon Rose cares for the picks too much. I think they're definitely going to be, more expendable. I know Scott Perry, in credit to the front office, have been more diligent with first round picks, and that's put us in a good position that we are in now. But now we're in a position where our roster's quite full. We can move some of these picks. We hit on some young talent, RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, Quentin Grimes, Deuce, Quickly, Obi, Mitch. We got some really young, talented players, so we can afford, to throw some of these picks around willy-nilly. And, and possibly, like D. Cool says, Donovan, that's the big fish we could be looking for. There's some talk today that the New York Knicks are just stacking assets, looking for that one big move. And that could be for him. It could be for Karl Towns. Could be for Fox. Could be for Ben Simmons. Let's see who becomes available. Who shakes loose. Something tells me Toronto too. Don't sleep on Toronto. They could be open for business with us. Toronto and Jim Dolan. We're used to doing deals with one another. Masai Ujiri up in there. CAA. We do a lot of deals with Toronto. And I'd love to get me Gary Trent. I wanted Gary Trent over in here for a while, right? He's a knockdown shooter. Talk about it, not just a shooter, but a maker. And Illmatics, the thing is that previous front offices would go years without making deals with other teams in the league without getting fleeced. Different story now, absolutely. When the New York Knicks make the call, the other GMs are shaking in their boots, right? Because they know it's not going to be easy. And it also does help when you're coming from a position of power. And South Guna wants us to bring him a center, a point guard, but not both. He expects Reddish to make an impact and don't want more than 2 new faces. 3, if the third is another rotation piece, but we need a pick to cull soon. Yeah, absolutely. It's a logjam. But I think this Cam move was definitely a precursor for a lot more to come. So stay tuned, and well wishes to everybody. I agree. Big facts, quiet money. Got to keep flushing out your body with the water and the fluids. Yep. Hey, that's a great way to, to shed this thing out here. Yep. Donovan Mitchell is the one error that we need to correct. Facts quiet. Absolutely. That haunts us, as well as, the Kevin Knox, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Choosing Kevin Knox ahead of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. That was foolery with that one. So, that set us back a long, long way. A salute, Donovan. Salute. Got us buzzing. You like the way the ball is just moving around now through RJ. Tibbs will make Cam Reddish a little slow. Tibbs will make Cam Reddish, I think, Cam Reddish is going to find his way here. It may take a little bit of time to acclimate, but his talent, what he can offer this team in the different dynamic dimensions is going to take this team to another level. Like I said, put him on the floor with Julius and RJ, and you'll see our offense look like it's never looked like this season, at all. Just those threats that can dribble, drive, size, penetration, length. That's going to help out a lot. And teams are just going to start to pack the paint even more, I think. Load up with zone as well. and hopefully it's not too late. He's on one leg, or yeah, definitely. We always seem to pull the trigger for these players that are too late. Yep, Donovan at the Garden, straight facts, will be super special. Yeah, and Manshaw says his side of the screen is a bit phasey. That's me. Apologies for the tech difficulties. The internet is buffering right now, so it's not you, Manchild. It's on my end as well, but hopefully it clicks back into effect soon. Yeah, geez, they were definitely bad swings. Quiet money, facts. That would have changed this trajectory of this organization. Absolutely, would have put us in contention right now. You mean to tell me you put a Shea Gilgeous or a Donovan on this team? That is that point guard situation solved. And even if we had got Miles or Mikal Bridges instead of Knox, we might not have Cam Reddish, but we'd still be in a different position as well. And I appreciate Jarvis throwing in some caretaking tips on how to beat this thing and heal up. Yep. Facts are the screen's fuzzy. That's on my end. Hopefully it clicks back in a minute. Salute the new Knicks. Salute fam. Salute. Let's get it. The Jazz haven't made Mitchell available at the minute, but I think they will. Writing's on the wall. He's not really happy. He's not the closest with he's not the closest with the Jazz, with the Rudy Gobert at this point in time as well. So let's see. Appreciate you, Jarvis. Donovan, Cam Reddish might not even play the first night because of the way RJ has the Knicks looking as well. Yep, great take on that one. And I think, Cam's out with the ankle injury. It's going to be a little bit of time, probably three games, probably max. And I think Cam Reddish will get back in here against Mini or against Detroit, the Mini or Detroit game. I think he'll get back in. And I think, like I said, he's going to just give us a crazy different dynamic, and other moves in terms of around the league. You got who do you think are the buyers and the sellers, right? We don't. Quiet Money doesn't want anything to do with Indies pieces. LeBron led GM is going to try to make some moves out there in LA. That's going to be something to watch. Can we fleece the Lakers? Give them Evan Fournier. Get off of his salary. Maybe get back Kendrick Nunn and some other piece. Maybe a future pick, Kendrick Nunn, future pick, and give them Evan Fournier. But yep, our main need is the point guard situation. Yep, absolutely. It's been going on for way too long. We thought the Kemba Walker thing would help, but it hasn't. And we need to move on from that experiment, right? Kemba Walker was an experiment, and we need to fix that. It's going to be interesting. That's one of the reasons they keep pushing Kemba back, in my opinion. They're not 100% sold on that his knee, he'll come back and then he'll be out again. But I also think that Leon's probably in close discussions, with some other teams right now, and they're just holding him out. I've got a feeling. But Leon Rose, the Don, after this Cam move, do you trust him more now? Do you trust him now to make the next big move? He's changing the perception of the Knicks around the league. You guys confident, Leon Rose will get us there sooner than later? You confident he has a plan and he's going to execute that plan and carry that plan out, in terms of he knows what he's doing? Or do you think he's just pulling off deal, as he sees it? But I think he's got some, his eyes on a certain few players, in my opinion. I think you'd love to get Jalen Brunson, and I think you'd love to get Karl Towns or Miles Turner. Whether you're a fan of them or not, that's just what I'm thinking Leon is thinking at this stage. Eric says, one pick away from Steph Curry, Hall of Famer. Yeah, don't remind me about that one again. That was horrible. Especially seeing him hit his record 3 at the Garden, MSG. That was painful all over again, especially that he wanted to be a Knick. Donovan, yeah, you got to practice like everyone else. Tibbs don't play. Absolutely, Donovan. He's got to get healthy first. But yeah, like D. Cool says, Cam won't play like the next 3 to 4 games with the spraying ankle. He will play in probably against the mini game at home or the Detroit game at home, I think, as well. So you'll probably sit out the next 3. And Fax Manchild, send Noel to Dallas for Brunson. That'd be a nice pick. That'd be a nice piece for sure. Manchild, appreciate that one. And yep. Unfortunately, a dude is out. Says be civilized as well. Yeah, Leon Rose, he's collecting assets as well. We got the 2nd round pick again, another 2nd round pick from Brooklyn. So how many 2nd round picks does that make that we got? That's unbelievable out here. I just think, yeah, that's craziness with in terms of the wheeling and dealing and future movements, we can do right here. The trade exception that he brought in says, I'm not going to take Solomon Hill until you give us money to cover Solomon Hill's contract. I mean, everything we're doing is just coming from a position of power right now. Leon the Don holding people ransom. But the next move, he needs to pull off that next big thing. It's all good to make the no-brainer moves. Point guard situation, what does he do with that? What does he decide with Mitchell Robinson at the center spot? Does he decide to move Mitch or commit money to that? That's going to be a huge part of his legacy, right, on that one. But Manchild says, yeah, we could have drafted DeRozan as well instead of Jordan Hill. Yep, that's another one that stings. Previous front offices regimes set us back year after year after year. But this front office, Leon Rose, Worldwide West, Scott Perry, Brock Aller, they're not setting us back at all, I feel. They might not be moving us as fast as you may want, but they're definitely not setting us back in terms of that, I feel. But in terms of the other teams around the league, right, there's a lot of teams in trouble. Atlanta Hawks tonight, we can put salt in the wound and win the season series. Boston are struggling. They're not coming from a position of power. The LA Lakers, the Indiana Pacers, even Toronto aren't where they want to be right now. What I'll do is I'll just bring up the Eastern standings. We can have a look at that. There you see the Eastern standings. The New York Knicks are now in the play-in. Jumped the Celtics today after the Celtics took an L. When we're not far from, when you look at it, at the end of this stretch, this easier stretch, especially if we beat the Hornets, that's going to be key, right? We could find ourselves in, 7th, 8th spot, by the end of this 5-game stretch. That'd be nice. And like, as you see today, the Pacers took an L, the Hornets took an L to the Magic, the Raptors took an L, the Celtics took an L, the Bulls even took an L, Atlanta took an L, coming, off a back-to-back. We should be able to, beat them tonight. The Cleveland Cavaliers, however, continue to win. So yeah, they're the standings and the results that took place today. A lot of great results went our way. And Manchild, he's had high hopes of the regime than ever before. Yeah, he has high hopes for this regime than ever before. That's great to know. Me too. Wheeling and dealing, making the right moves that are there. I do, however, next thing I do want to see is, of course, solve the other issues we have, point guard, solidify the center spot, and of course, start to convince me that free agency or stars, that he can pull off the move for the next star, whether it's Donovan Mitchell, Cat, the next disgruntled star. Can he pull off that big bomb, that big splash? Eric, we should trade for Derek White from the Spurs as well. He's an all-round wing player too. Yep, that's a nice one. Derek White. His future's a little shaky in San Antonio right now. That'd be nice, a nice fit. I think Tibbs would definitely get a lot out of Derek White. Let's keep a lookout for that one. And salute 007 Angelo. Hurts to say this, but Obi, Mitch are now expendable. Burks, Fournier, Walker are also expendable. It's tough, right? When you got these players that you form certain attachments to, you like what they do on different nights, you like their future, their upside, but business is business at the end of the day, right? You're trying to upgrade, and improve your team. And unfortunately, I think this trade deadline, we are going to have to part with one of these players that, a lot of fans won't be happy about. A lot of fans will like. Obi could be possibly Mitch. The money situation is a big one with Mitch. They've got to make a decision with that. Obi's minutes and the fit, they've got to make a decision with that one as well. So I feel you on that. And Ilmatics, my thoughts on Mitch. Mitch has given us what he's given us for 1.8 mil, and I'm loving that. Mitch has a great future in the league. I think he has restrictions in terms of, offensive game, which ultimately might hurt us. I don't want to pay Mitch any more than 12 to 14 mil. He can't shoot free throws right now. That tells me that, until he does, he might not be able to stay on the court, in the fourth quarter. However, I love his rebounding. That's improved. Running the floor, his ability to play through injuries. It's going to be tough, but at the end of the day, it's going to be tough to pay Mitch, more than 12 mil, I think, for a player that doesn't have any offensive game. And Manchild says Mitch isn't going nowhere. I can see him staying as well. And indeed, like he says, no one's safe. Absolutely, no one's safe from a trade. Facts. Appreciate it, Jarvis, again. In terms of COVID, move around, even if you don't feel like it. Go outside, get sunlight, take very warm baths or showers, spray, wipe down. I appreciate that, and hope I'm glad everyone's starting to feel a bit better. This thing's no joke, and hopefully, the New York Knicks giving people more reason to smile as they do. Continue to go through this season. We're back at 500. We are at a situation where it's a clean slate. The season starting right now. Again, a lot of upside though. Like the chat's been saying all night, we got a better roster than we did last season at the same point of the season. More potential, more upside. We have the trade deadline that still hasn't even passed yet. A lot of picks still. I think we're in a position that we've never been in really for quite a while. Even people saying with this trade, like, was this in your eyes the best trade we've done in a long time? Even outdoing the Derrick Rose trade, even before our players played. But the chat's up in here strong. Be civilized. He'd rather keep Mitch versus Noel. Definitely, yeah. I can see what Noel's impact is, but I can also see the smart move is to move Noel's salary, and keep Mitch if you can, even if he wants to take a short-term deal, right? I'd pay Mitch a higher amount to keep him on a shorter deal. I think that'd be smart business as well. And Allah says if we move Mitch, he'd be tight as well. So a lot of Mitch fans now. Mitch has endeared himself with some of his recent play and his potential. His potential to take control of games, dominate the glass, block shots. Where he does need to improve, of course, is setting screens. Mitch starts to set really great screens, and that his value just goes up tenfold. Will go up tenfold. That's another key element. The New York Knicks need to solidify our point guard spot and we need to solidify this center spot in terms of what are we rocking with. Are we going to let Sims play some minutes, and are we going to ship out Nerlens or Mitch? Let's see. Let's see. Leon Rose got he's facing all these questions right now. But in terms of the major question, do I trust Leon? I do. I trust in the moves being made. He's a businessman at heart. He's been a power agent. He knows what good business looks like. He knows. The story before all this Cam Reddish noise, buzz, was RJ Barrett. Of course, Star J Barrett, looking the goods. Could be Eastern Conference Player of the Week tonight if he could be even more juiced up, amped up with his boy Cam Reddish here. RJ Barrett puts in a beast performance tonight, and it could be a wrap for Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Right, so RJ Barrett is on the rise. Where do you guys sit with him in terms of ball, carrying the ball, distributing, running the play through him versus Julius? It's crazy, Allah, that Mitch is the current longest tenured Knick since Knox left. That is absolutely crazy. Maybe that's what he was joking about with Frank as well. Mitch, Lex says, Mitch is our most valuable center. Nobody impacts that position for us more than Mitch. Yep, straight facts with that one. Mitch Robb, he's been playing on a bargain deal. You feel bad about that. He hates his agents, former agents. He wants to get paid. He deserves to get paid. I think Mitch is here for the future. If we don't trade him, he's a piece that definitely we need to keep around. He's ascending. I hope he can get some kind of offensive game. At least maybe on the in the free throws. Improve with the free throws, and then I think we'll be good with Mitch. D Cool. If the Knicks have no plans to give Mitch a contract, they will trade him now for something that then let him walk for nothing. Yeah, that's definitely the big decision, right? That Leon Rose, this front office, is facing. We all know Mitch's talent, his upside, what he can give us. They're in the talent evaluation stage right now, in terms of trying to decide, okay, how valuable is Mitch? And I think they're willing to walk the plank. I think they're willing to not trade him and maybe even just ride out the year as well, in good faith, because you still can sign and trade Mitch as well. You can still sign and trade him. And Allah, yep, if Barrett needs 35 tomorrow, get that player of the week. Yeah, Joel Embiid's been balling out as well. He sure has. He's been put Philly on his back and carrying Philly. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting situation. Another story to watch tonight. Atlanta v Knicks, another big storyline outside of the trade. If Star J Barrett continues his rise, just give him the keys. Give him the keys in terms of the offense right now, because his playmaking's on another level. He's using the pick and roll. He's getting through the traffic, getting into the paint, collapsing the D, and he's also kicking it out. He's got great court vision. Does RJ Barrett? I love to see him continue to work on his handle. That's his next skill that'll take him to the next level. Finishing, of course, with his right hand, dribbling with his right, keeping his dribble alive when he gets into traffic and he gets into the paint, because he's going to continue to dominate. He's going to continue to run the floor well, get out in transition. He's going to continue to get stronger. He's come into the league already with a really strong frame. Can you imagine RJ Barrett and his strength in 2 more years? It's going to be off the charts. Yeah, and quiet. I believe Karma says, yeah, we gave Joe Kim 72 mil. We have to give Mitch 52. Absolutely, that is Karma. Different regimes, of course, with Phil. Phil being too generous with one of his old buddies. Joe Kim out there still getting paid, but let's hope we do the right thing by Mitch. He's been balling out, and I can't wait to see him tonight as well with Capella out as well. That's another huge thing. And which point guard on this current roster do you think unlocks Mitch the most? Right, with with Kemba Walker ball dominant, Kemba Walker as scoring point guard, do you think he, was getting, Mitch involved? Or do you think it's more like RJ, Alec Burks, Quickly, or Derrick Rose? Who do you think can unlock Mitch's game the most in terms of current point guard on this roster as well? Salute to everybody and all the mods. Salute, fam. We up in here. Allah giving Jarvis some advice as well. Absolutely. Stay healthy. Everyone, take care of yourself. Be civilized. 100%. We can't afford to let a player walk any more than we did like Frankie Boy. We didn't do it with K Knox. We were going to do it with K Knox, but we got rid of him when the time was right, and we strike while the iron was hot. We didn't lose an asset for nothing. And I salute Heck. Salute. Great show tonight. Shout out Knicks Nation for the love of the game. Back in full effect. Like and subscribe for the love of the game. Gives everyone, Knicks fans, a voice, a beautiful platform to come on here and talk sports, all of sports. I'm a Giants fan, as well. The Giants, didn't have a great season this season. But I'm a big sports fan in general. But these New York Knicks got my heart since I was 8 years old. I've been riding and dying ever since. I hope I see a championship soon. I'm patient though. I'm not one of those fans that needs to win today. But at the same time, it'd be nice if we win soon. I'm not going to lie. We just need to continue to build this thing the right way. Draft well. RJ, Star J, is a big part of this thing. And Juju, Knicks will win 118 to 112. I can see that in the ATL, high scoring game, getting up and down. I can also see us, though, holding the Hawks to a much lower score than 112. I think the 90s Tibbs D's back in full effect. It's been getting better and better with the switchable lineups, with Alec Burks starting. I don't think Tibbs wants no part of Kemba Walker coming back. Kemba Walker's, can help us scoring, but he doesn't help us on the switch, the pick and roll. Also, the fact that his knees coming in and out causes a disruption. That's disruptive to the team's chemistry. I love Kemba Walker, the person, but he's just not the right player for this team anymore. And let's see how it unfolds. Leon Rose is probably, working the phones right now. And Quiet says this has to be RJ because he drives hard, always looks for Mitch. Yet when the defense collapses as well. That's another beautiful thing about Star J Barrett, right? His mentality is that he's never really come in here with no ego, He's never really whined and moaned about, the New York Knicks not featuring him enough or not giving him the keys soon enough. He's a type of dude that is a team first guy, wants to get his teammates happy, get them involved. He shouted out, gave a nice tribute to Frankie Boy on Instagram, said my friend in French. They were hugging each other. Star J Barrett's got Cam Reddish here now. Maybe that just takes him to the next level. Now when you got that player, another player that's on your side, with your future and history together. Your history and future could be together. And salute for the love of the game. Salute. Eric also, Knicks dub today. Let's get it. And facts, big blue Giants back soon. Another situation where they've got to work the draft, retool and front office retool. It'll happen, just got to run this thing right, be patient, and cool to be civilized. You love Mitch, but if the Knicks could get Turner or DeAndre Ayton, see ya. Hey, DeAndre Ayton, the noise has dropped a little bit with him, but that's just going to pick up, definitely. So let's get it. We smoke Atlanta tonight. Quiet money to Juju. Absolutely. Let's win by 20. Let's let Deuce McBride and other dudes eat. Quentin Grimes. I'm going to say Quentin Grimes is going to hit 4 threes. And Allah wise, RJ looked hype that Cam is here. He couldn't stop smiling at the practice interview. Yeah, great one. I haven't seen the practice interview yet. I've seen a couple of the snippets, but he looked hype. He looked happy. He's got help now, more help. And I think RJ's the guy that's been hoping for more defensive wing help. He's been the main wing that, has to take on those wings each and every night. Fournier's a liability on defense. Quentin Grimes is still young. And I think, yeah, he's just happy that he knows he's got some help up in here. And we know Kevin Knox won't even playing as well. And Sherwin says RJ, Mitch, Cam, Randall all need a pass first shooting guard as well. Yeah, the whole team in general needs some passing. Some players that are unselfish, can distribute. Because yeah, it's just going to unlock everybody. You see what Mitch looks like with a point guard that looks for him. And RJ can be that guy. We just probably need to give him the ball more, put the ball in RJ's hands a lot more, and we'll see where it takes us. Yeah, and D, yeah, quiet to D. We don't want no Indiana mess. Yet you've been consistent with that, and yeah, clean house for the Giants and work that draft. The Knicks should have followed that route and stick to it. Yeah, that's what set us back basically this long for the New York Knicks. We've taken the long way, right? We've tried to win now for so long, and it's finally hit home that to win you need to stack some young talent. Stack some young talent, develop them, and let them grow, right? We fell into the RJ Barrett thing. He's here for the long haul, I feel, and yeah, we just need to continue to play it smart, play safe. The things will shake right for the New York Knicks in terms of the landscape around the league. LeBron's aging, Chris Paul's about to be out of here. Some other guys getting old as well. The New York Knicks, it's about looking at that next chapter, the next step, when the window can open. And 007 says, I only say Mitch is expendable because I believe Leon is still going after Turner. I love Mitch, but for Turner, I wouldn't be mad as well. Yeah, a lot of fans want Turner. Some people don't want Turner. He is a bit inconsistent. $18 million. There is a legit argument to make. If you want to pay Mitch $12 million, he can give you 3/4 of what Turner can give you and maybe grow even more. Then that is worth exploring, right? Maybe exploring what's in your own backyard as well. It's going to be really interesting to see how much the New York Knicks value Mitch, right? And what happens, from here on out. Does he continue to ball out? And Alexis free Deuce as well. I'm liking the fact that they're using Deuce in the G League. At least if he's not playing, he is in a situation where he's getting reps, and he's making himself look good with 39 points in the G League. It's also making me peep the G League a lot more. The Westchester Knicks, shout out to them, that front office. The things they're doing in Westchester. Lucas Samanic, the other dude balling out, Tyler Hall. Tyler Hall had himself a game. We're finally using the junior club the way it's supposed to be, right? That's how they do it in soccer and football. The junior squads, continue to groom these guys. D-Cool says to quiet, I don't even like Turner, but it's rumors, that Leon's on the ball with that one. He's looking at him. And heck, Julius upset the front office got RJ's friend and didn't get his friend in Turner. Yeah, facts. That's going to be interesting. I think if we don't get Turner, it'll be the asking price. Indiana, some of these teams are a bit delusional in terms of asking price. Miles Turner is, $18 million. Has been inconsistent. I don't know what market there is for Miles Turner in terms of outside of the Knicks. Leon Rose, I trust him that he's gonna be patient with Miles Turner, not give up too much. If they do get Turner, I think it's going to be an Obi Toppin, and maybe it's probably going to be Obi in a couple of seconds. Obi Toppin and another role piece that we don't need. But outside of that, don't give them multiple firsts at what they're asking for. They can kick rocks with that one. And Allah says if we keep ball in the hands of RJ, then Halliburton is a good pickup, but I doubt it as well. Halliburton can play off ball, which would be, like you say, it's a nice fit around that one. yeah, a lot of questions still to come within the squad in terms of how we want to play for the future. RJ Barrett showing a lot of potential as a playmaker, permanent playmaker moving forward. Let's see how that looks. We've got 3 weeks till the trade deadline. Let's make the most of these minutes. If Cam Reddish doesn't play for 3 more matches, let's continue to give minutes to Evan Fournier. See if he's turning the corner or not. And then see if we can flip him for high value right now. And Lexia has been saying Turner over Noel, but not Mitch as well. So yeah, even just the players aside, like I said, you've got to factor in their salaries too. Miles Turner for 18 mil. Maybe you can lock up Mitch for a couple of years for 12 mil as well. So that's going to be interesting. What do you guys think Mitch's trade value, trade market will be? Free agent market, in terms of Sherwin saying 14.5 is what he would pay Mitch. Do you think Mitch would command more than 14.5? Let's see the way he continues to play. Tibbs does want to stay in the paint. Turner doesn't as well. Yep, Turner wants to pull people out and shoot as well. Salute. He's on the Mitch train. He's quiet money. Facts. And like Allah's been saying, Luka is another piece that we can add to the trade if need be. Absolutely, we're playing with house money. We got assets up the wazoo. We got Rokas cooking overseas. A lot of teams love a throw-in because like a Rokas, a valuable future piece, but he's got no salary that you have to take on. So that's another sexy asset, Rokas and Luka. I think Miles McBride may be a sneaky dude that teams will try to pry from us as well. So look out for that. Look out for teams to ask for Deuce McBride to be a throw-in. DeAndre Ayton, yes. Turner is not better than Mitch. Mitch is playing 25 minutes, scoring 8 points, 80% from the field. Turner's 29 minutes, 13 points, 51% from the field. Mitch is 100% better defender. And Allah says, yep, the next for the love of the game, he'll be on lock. And 007 team could really use a stretch 5. Turner would fit that role, but he's a rim protector as well. So yeah, it's going to be, do they acquiesce to Julius's demand as well? If they want to build around Julius, what do you guys think they're more likely to want to build around, Julius or Obi right now? Because I've been saying 12 months from now, they have to make a decision. Obi's trade value is going down. His confidence is going down. We cannot afford to piss away another eighth overall selection, right, and get nothing for it. Kill his confidence and kill his game. So choose one way or the other now. Make a decision, right? You can't keep playing. If you're not going to want to play Obi together with Randall, then yeah, maybe he's traded, like Manchild says, and Luka can back up power forward. He doesn't care about no stretch 5 because there aren't really any good ones available as well. It's all about down low, beasting on and feasting on the glass. Yep. Yeah, appreciate everyone. Allah, keep rocking, Jarvis. Appreciate you. Definitely have a great night. Rest up, prayers up. Keep it buzzing, Jarvis, as you always do. And let's get it. Let's get it tonight in the ATL. Heck, Leon Rose, just like last year, he didn't wait for the market to present itself. He went out there, got D Rose on a steal, just like getting Reddish. You feel another move's coming soon. I can see that too. Can definitely see it happening soon. He wants to also, make the statement. Atlanta, were canvassing, offers for Cam. LA Lakers only offered 2 second-round picks. The poor LA Lakers. And then we just came along and said, hey, Travis Schlenk or Atlanta, take our gold and we'll help you out right now. And that's what I love about Leon. He doesn't play around. And Sherwin's on the Turner hate, taking 9.2.4 shots a game with Mitch's 4 shots a game as well. 007, Noel is going to be a hard one to move. He's always injured. Plus he's 10 mil. I think if he stays healthy, won't be as bad to move. He's got value to some contending teams. Yeah, again, like I said, the 10 mil, like you said, the 10 mil might be tricky. You got to find another piece to come back, potentially. So I know Tibbs loves Noel, so I won't be surprised if Noel sticks around. And D Cool, 10 to 12 mil for Mitch is fair. Yep, I agree with that one. He could probably play above that if he continues to stay healthy, and ball out. And they also look for him. They also look for him. And Manchild, he don't want no part of Turner as well. And I'll agree with Heck, and I'll take DeAndre Ayton over all of those fools. Let's get DeAndre Ayton. He's the real deal. And a salute to Jarvis from Quiet Money. Sherwin says Obi is not or will be will be a starting NBA player. Obi just a rim runner. Still early days. He's not. You got to agree, Sherwin. He's not in a position where he's being prioritized at all. Right? It's not being prioritized. They're not acquiescing to him. They selected him. Julius became an all-star, and it's just a tough situation, for both of them. I think if Obi was on Toronto, Obi was on Detroit, he'd look a lot better on those lineups. And but Heck says, I honestly think the Knicks do have Obi in their long-term plans, especially since Leon did make his first selection as president of operations. He doesn't want the egg on his face as well. So that's interesting too. So does that mean maybe, Julius is a bit more expendable in the next year or two? Maybe Leon will be more patient and wait out to see which player really, pops. And Sherwin, LRY says, he watched Mitch kill Ayton at the Jordan Classic, as seniors in high at the Barclay. That's why he likes Mitch, and they let him play his game, back then as well. So we know Mitch has put some statements out there. Please let me play. The New York Knicks have definitely held Mitch back somewhat offensively, and that's definitely hurt some of his value. Manchar says Randall will be gone before Obi. Wow, so that's it. Randall obviously has got more trade value. Let's see if he can pull himself out of this slump that Julius is in. And Tony, welcome, salute. Obi is more than just a dunker. He's not been able to show what he can really do. Yet hope he stays a Knick. We need players like him as well. So Tony likes Obi, impact player, got more to prove, more ahead of him. Leon Rose selection. Obi's got a lot of fans. Again, I'm saying you just need to make a decision with this organization one way or the other. It's a ticking bomb right now. There's 12 months to make a decision because, it's just awkward right now with Julius here and Obi playing 9 minutes a night. And, Noel's definitely can be tradable if he stays healthy. And Sherwin says, we will all take DeAndre Ayton as well. Manchild, we can get a haul if we trade Randall as well. Yep, we can definitely utilize some of his asset, his value right now. I appreciate you, Jarvis. Yeah, quiet. It's called pivoting. It ain't double down on a questionable decision made at a certain time. Yep. Facts, Allah. Salute to the guys for the love of the game. Doing great work, big things. Be civilized. Yep. Prayers up to Jarvis. Blessings. Getting that rest. And Sherwin, Obi can't post up. He's shooting less than 20% when he's not dunking. Again, he's not being featured as much. But Obi is definitely not a consistent player at the moment. It's more what you think his potential can be. What can Obi grow into being, right, versus what he is right now, I think. But the age, a lot of people do say the age is a concern as well for Obi. And D. Cool says, we're all hard on Obi. The minute he improves his shooting percentage, we'll be eating crow as well. That is a big swing skill, D. Cool, is shooting and getting that in as well. Heck, that's exactly what a pivot looks like. Can't disagree. Just makes Leon look incompetent. And Lex says, Obi's high energy definitely a keeper. And that Obi's a player that's very, very unique. You need the right pieces around him to, to utilize his game, just like RJ at the moment. And Sharon says, yeah, potential is an if poop had bones, it would walk as well. Definitely, but that is something you do factor into when you're making the future decision on a player as well. You do have to take into consideration what you think they can be and what they are right now. The main thing is, like I said, Obi's still got a couple of years on the rookie contract. So whether you like the player or not, you have to understand that their value is probably at one of the best it can be now. The longer you if you don't want Obi, the longer you hold on to him playing 9 minutes a night, his trade value is going to go from whatever it is to almost nothing. And the New York Knicks are hurting themselves doing that right now. They need to make a decision right now. Trade him for Miles Turner or decide to build around him. It's one or the other right now. And Ilmatics, Obi did show potential in the summer league when he got minutes as well. And he also, to that point, he looks good with Quickly. He looks good with Quickly in terms of their understanding, their familiarity, and all of that. And bones don't walk if you ain't got heart. And Quiet Money, for the love of the game, nobody said Leon had to be perfect. Just make corrections moving forward as well. Yeah, Leon Rose learning on the fly as we go, a first-time president of operations, a GM. He's taken some criticism. He hasn't hit runs in free agency. Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier were straight Fs, straight failures on that. But Kemba Walker didn't hamstring us. Fortunately, the contract, Evan Fournier's contract may prove a little bit more tougher, to move on. And let's see. And definitely, as Manchol says, players are drafted by their potential first as well. Where do you guys sit with the current draft too? Quentin Grimes, we obviously tried to move up, get Chris Duarte and Trey Murphy. I haven't really seen Trey Murphy ball out as much with New Orleans. So Chris Duarte has definitely looked the goods, but I'm happy with where we're at. To stick where we were, to get Quentin Grimes and to turn that Charlotte pick into Cam Reddish now. He's made lemonade out of lemons, basically. He's made the best out of that situation. And he also, probably even better move, was trading the 32nd pick to Sam Presti to bring back in 34, 36 in Rokas and Deuce as well. So you turn the 32nd pick into Rokas and Deuce, and Rokas on track to be the rising star in the Euro League. And of course, we've seen a glimpse of Deuce McBride, and what he can be as well. So Leon Rose is doing well in the draft for me. He's doing well with the trades as well. What can he do to bring in that big fish in free agency or a bigger trade, right? Pull off that blockbuster. And worldwide William Wesley is not off the hook as well, right? James Dolan's paying him big money to be an official consultant. He needs to work his magic, work the back channels, right? What's the point in having William Wesley in here if it's not doing anything other than bring Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier in here, And Lex says, it's only Obi's second year and he showed improvement, unlike 4-year bust Knox. Yep, facts with that one. Obi's got a ton more talent, heart, desire than Knox. And Obi will be an NBA player wherever he ends up playing. He'll be a solid NBA player. Will Obi Toppin, right? You don't be the college player of the year and and flame out. I think he'll definitely have a career somewhere. He just needs to find himself the best home. And D Cool, Jimmy and Kawhi don't become stars in their first 2 years as well. So we should cut Obi some slack on that one as well. And he's not got the right coach, does Obi. Tibbs don't care a minute for development. He doesn't care a second for developing players. He just wants to win yesterday. He's 64, 63 years old, been through it all with New York, done a circle between New York, Boston, Chicago, Minnesota, and then back to New York, and he still hasn't won a chip. He wants to win yesterday, and that could be to the detriment of some young players' potential, but he is going to get the best out of this current roster. Well, Tom Thibodeau, Ilmatics, the summer league. It did granted the competition isn't all that, but he was hitting his J and he was putting in work for the most part as well. So he'll probably play summer league again as well, which will be crazy. The draft picks in his collection of the draft picks has been a spot on A+ facts with that one, spot on. He knows what it's all about, and credit to Brock Ala who knows the finances, the cap maneuvering of that goes into the draft trading as well. D Cool, from Quiet Money, if he had more game, he would take more shots. There ain't going to be too many fast break open court opportunities, for a team with slow pace like ours. Allah says he's not getting the burn because he depends too much on everybody else. Get some offensive boards. If you want to dunk, play D, get in transition in the passing lanes, and then dunk as well. That's spot on with that one as well, right? You can't just rely on everything being spoon fed to you. Sometimes you got to get down and dirty, get nitty gritty, and create for yourself. Showing you Knox has more basketball skills than Obi as well. And we did move Knox on. I'm happy for that. Knox gets a brand new home. We get a nice shiny toy, Cam Reddish, and it's great business overall for everybody. Can Scott Perry utilize his ties now as well with Detroit, Orlando? We got Jeremy Grant. That's another piece in Detroit that they were looking at. Orlando's got a ton of guards. Let's see. Obi brings the energy, but he barely uses it properly as well. One thing I want to see Obi do is to be more patient with his three balls, right? He catches it and he just releases straight away. Sometimes he just needs to set his feet, take a bit of time, and then shoot it as well, because a lot of these shots come wide open. It's not like a defender is closing out hard on Obi Toppin's three-point shot. Almost every single three-point shot Obi has is a wide open shot, yet he lets it fly straight away. So set your feet, continue to shoot, more efficient. And Obi's shot's not broken. He can work on it in the off season. Yep, definitely. He's a smooth free throw shooter, I think. So I think you can definitely pick that up. And Quiet says, the difference between Obi and Knox is that Knox did 1 year in college and Obi did all 4. And Alex, also, let's not forget, we've seen Deuce go 19 plus, even without scoring. Yep, with 0, had a donut. And showing you, I will play Taj at the backup 4. Obi game is just not NBA ready right now. Even when Obi's playing well on sides of the court, Tibbs subs him out on both sides of the court. Manchild, I agree. Tibbs just ain't a fan. There's something in that, it's about trust, I think, for Tibbs. When you're trying to gear up for a playoff run and win yesterday, I think Tibbs wants to prioritize dudes that he trusts. And that's Taj Gibson, D Rose, all of that. But you've seen Obi knock down some threes. You can't make them all. If Tibbs didn't bench him after 6 minutes, he'd have more confidence. Definitely. He's not in the right place right now for his mind, for his happiness, for his future, his potential. I think it just does everybody a favor. If they're going to give Tibbs carte blanche, then they're going to have to sit down in this front office. But also look out for Obi Toppin to be a potential trade chip in 3 weeks' time coming up. That's going to be an interesting topic. It's going to have the fan base up in arms, divided. Sean says, Obi rank is one of the worst defenders at the power forward position. Yep, 74th best defender at his position as well. And that is a sophomore as well. Sophomore on the floor, still got to find his way, learn his way on the defensive end. Be civilized. I do think if we get rid of Obi, we might regret it long term. let the dude grow and blossom as a Knick. It's been bad enough. We always give up on players. That's from New York instead of building from within as well. Great comment on with that one as well. I think if Randall never became an all-star, it would have been clear pathway, for Obi to continue rocking. And from Allard, no disrespect to him, but you see what the team is doing. They might not want to wait for him or Mitch, even if and even that's my guy as well. Yeah. So can this front office stay patient? Their development staff, they brought in the best development staff they possibly can get, draft staff. Let's see. And a question from Tony, is Obi allowed to go one-on-one or is he banished to the corner tray? Manchild is correct. He's subbed out no matter how well he plays. Fact as well. Obi ain't really allowed. He had that 45-minute game where he scored 19 points, but pulled in 6 rebounds. Tibbs wasn't too pleased with the overall production, but he's definitely not given many opportunities to go one-on-one. There's no offense really run through Obi at all. No post-ups. He's only found through the backdoor cut or the backdoor lob from Obi, from Quickly. That's about it, really. I just see an energy ball running off around the court right now. Quiet says here, Tibbs knows he's too limited to keep an eye on the court, to keep him on the court for too long. Like I said, Tibbs wants to win yesterday. The front office is following Tibbs's lead, and they're giving him carte blanche at the moment. I think he's going to rock with Julius. If I had to pick who they're going to prioritize, I think it's probably going to be Julius. Julius has got the runs on the board. He's an all-star, all-NBA player already, locked up for $19 million a year for 4 more years. So that is a bit more in terms of stability, in terms of knowing what you've got. And if you can get a solid asset for Obi, that might be the way they decide to go. Ilmatics, to be civilized, agree. Too soon to give up on Obi. If he has to be thrown in as a part of a blockbuster that brings in a star player, then so be it. But until then, let's see what he turns out into. Absolutely. Look, I'm not mad if they ride it out for 12 more months. It just does look awkward. We're hurting Obi's confidence and his trade value. I'd prefer a decision made sooner than later. But yeah, sometimes it could be a blessing too if you wait for another year and see what Obi can do. Maybe Randall, touch wood, goes down for an injury. You just can never predict the future as well. And Quiet says having a defensive stat like that would definitely keep you in Tibbs's doghouse. Yep. Tibbs is all about that. He's found his new guys. Do you think that'll hurt Luka Samanic's chances? People are saying Luka Samanic, he's not known to be a solid defender either. Not a liability, but not a solid defender. Maybe that's, won't allow him to get called up this season. Allah says we got 8 or 9 guys under 26 years old, and we can't keep them all as well. That's tough too, Allah. And it's a pivotal point at this time too with Atlanta. People are saying, why did we get Cam Reddish for the price we got Cam at? Well, that's because Atlanta didn't recycle their assets enough. They're smart enough. They had too many dudes in there, too many wings, and they invested in Cam Reddish, but there was no pathway forward for Cam Reddish, right? So they hit a roadblock, and they had to get Cam Reddish out of there for pennies on the dollar. And that's exactly what's going to happen to us if we keep Obi and we keep other dudes here for too long, right? We're going to get pennies on the dollar. And Sherwin says, Manchild, last I checked, at least different websites, I checked for everything. And Be Civilized here, Luca's motor is at what? Pudge Nice has seen him in person for the Westchester Knicks. He's got a pretty low motor. I think it's not as low as Kevin Knox. He's eaten in the G League, but he's currently injured. So let's keep our eye on the pulse with that one. But Luca has the stretch 5 ability, stretch 4 ability, put it on the floor, can attack the paint, throw it down. He's got athleticism. I can see a Lowry Markkanen light in terms of Luca's ceiling, a Lowry Markkanen light. And Sherwin, it means that you said he is baseless since you want to give up one site that says that. Eric, salute fam. Appreciate the support. Let's keep it buzzing. New York Knicks up in here, strong, heavy. It's great times to be a fan right now in terms of future flexibility, potential. Fans, up in here, passionate. Me, I don't root for no player specifically in terms of, I want this player. I don't want to lose this player. I'm all for the New York Knicks, orange and blue. I just want to win. I want to win, but I do want to win the right way. Let's see what this front office does. They need to make some pivotal decisions right now. You got Mitchell Robinson. You got, the Randall Obi thing. You got a point guard hole. It's a really critical time, for this organization. And Leon Rose, the Don, putting respect on our name with wheeling and dealing, drafting. You got experts on these networks that I won't name, giving us some props. How many times do the New York Knicks get props when they make a trade? How many times have we been ridiculed and stuff? Now, we're getting props from the talent we're bringing in, props from the financial side of the moves we're making. We're helping out arch nemesis LA Lakers save money. We're all over the place right now. Is Leon Rose, his front office. Tony says Obi is not the worst defender on the team, yet Evan and Kemba and even Julius at times get lackadaisical on D, yet plays 35, 40 minutes in the game. And great show, respect. Appreciate you, Tony. Great comment. Look, Tibbs has his favorites. Not going to lie, it's obvious to see. We're not stupid, none of us. We watch the games. We all know what's up. They say what they say in these press conferences, but we're no fools. Tibbs is attached to certain dudes. It's obvious, and Leon Rose is attached to certain dudes. It's political. It's political with Kemba Walker, political with Evan Fournier and Julius. You follow the money in terms of these decisions. Julius got paid the bag. They're going to give him a pass. Evan and Kemba got paid the bag, or got brought in with some hype. They're going to give them a pass all day, every day. D Cool agrees. Yeah, facts. Manchild's an IT guy too. I appreciate that. And a lot of tradable assets as well. And like I said, what Atlanta did, and it was to their detriment. Last season, so many people were saying the Atlanta Hawks, they got to the Eastern Conference Finals because they were such a deep team. Well, sometimes you can be too deep. You can, when you've got assets and they're an asset and then they start depreciating, you got to flip them. You got to keep flipping. The New York Knicks have so many picks. So we flipped the Charlotte one. We got Cam Reddish in here. This front office knows what they're doing. They're flipping assets. When the time comes, you got to do it right. Tradable assets, keep it moving, basically. Kevin Knox, we didn't lose him for nothing, so I'm not mad. I said I'd be furious if we lost Kevin Knox for just nothing. Like Frankie boy. Frank Ntilikina was a bust pick, and we managed to also lose him for nothing. That's bad business. So Kevin Knox gets a brand new home. We get a really highly touted prospect, Cam Reddish. It's going to really help this team now and in the future, I think. A lot of people asking how's the dynamic going to be with him, RJ, Julius needing the ball. I think Cam will come in here, work his way via the bench first. He'll start to play in the fourth quarter lineups. I think him and Alec Burks will be lethal at the 1 and 2. RJ or Alec Burks and RJ with Cam at the 3. A lot of 6'6" size, all switchable positions. A trio that can handle the rock in RJ, Burks, and Cam Reddish, together with Julius and Mitch. That'd be a deadly closing lineup. Right? When you're starting to think about the New York Knicks finishing the lineups, that'd be nice right there. Cam Reddish, a former point guard. Let Derrick Rose get back and complete that bench lineup with him quickly, with Grimes, Obi out there getting up and down. That's going to be nuclear. That bench of ours when D Rose gets healthy. And in terms of what Leon's got planned, I want to dangle Nerlens Noel, Evan Fournier, try and get his salary off the books. Like I said, see if you can bring in a real impact player with Obi Toppin as the piece that's probably going to be used. Maybe Deuce McBride may have to be a throw in, if they're trying to go big game hunting. The De'Aaron Fox thing scares me right now. But in terms of point guard, low risk, Kendrick Nunn would be low risk. Markel Fultz, or just keep it the way it is. But either way, we need that point guard solution solved. Maybe they know some back channel. Maybe World Wide West is hearing that. Wait one more year. Don't make no point guard commitment. Donovan Mitchell. Wait to see what he looks like in Utah. Wait till Utah flame out again in the playoffs, and we make that call to Utah. Donovan demands a trade, maybe. Maybe they know. They do make a lot of quiet moves, and maybe they do know the next couple of steps, and we're just sitting back waiting to see what this is all going to look like in 1 year's time, right? We're making moves like Tetris right now. We're putting pieces in place, but as more options, more pieces start coming, we're going to deal with it, as it comes. But the New York Knicks fans are out here heavy and strong. The Cam Reddish trade was a 10 out of 10, potential and high upside. We even got the second round pick. It wasn't even necessary for us to get the second round pick, but Leon Rose said, hey, held them at gunpoint and said, give us something better. That was crazy. And, in terms of, what else is going on around the league, the Philly situation, that's something that's the first domino that's going to fall with the trade period coming up. So look out for that. Daryl Morey further under pressure in Philly. Joel Embiid in his prime, each and every night laying it out there, with Ben Simmons getting fined. Doc Rivers under immense pressure. So look for the Philly situation. Where do you think Ben Simmons goes? I thought we'd have our hand in that pie, and maybe we still do. But it's going to be crazy to see, right, when Ben Simmons finally gets traded. I think it's going to be a bigger trade, like a possibly three-way trade. Maybe we get involved, help out some other teams, and we can fleece some more teams and get involved. Like Be Civilized saying, straight Leon Rose, straight Jack move. Give me a Skrilla. He's in this long term, right? And a lot of people were apprehensive about bringing in a former agent as a president, right? But let me tell you, bringing in a former president, player agent as president, one advantage he has is that he's had many, many clients that have been traded before. So he knows all about the trade game, right? When you've got so many clients that were traded, you know all about it. You're the first one that gets a GM calls you as the player's agent and says, hey, your client's going to be traded, right, for this, this, and this. So Leon Rose's experience, 30 years, 40 years in the game, he's straight using that experience to straight jack other people, for assets, cash considerations. I mean, we're the New York Knicks. We're the most wealthiest franchise in the world. We didn't really need cash considerations. We're helping the LA Lakers out with cash considerations, yet we still managed to straightjack Atlanta with that one. More second round picks than we can sleep with, So it's going to be insane when these drafts continue to come, right? We've got more maneuvering. We can just keep moving back in drafts, with all these second rounders when the high school one hits. That's going to be crazy. But yeah, throw me the moves that you think are going to happen, whether you want them to happen or not. What's Leon's next move? The tea leaves are out there. Miles Turner, boys with Julius Randle out there, disgruntled in Indy, Indy wanting to throw it away, rebuild. What do you think happens with that situation? Jalen Brunson, family connections. Look out for that one. Look out for us to get some more draft assets as well. I think get involved in three-way team deals with Evan Fournier, potentially. Evan Fournier salary, I think I think if they can pseudo get out of his contract without looking like it was a mistake, I think they would secretly like that. They'd secretly like to package him in a bigger deal so that, oh, hey, it didn't really work out, but here's this shiny new piece we bring in. And let's forget all about bringing Evan Fournier here as well. I just think it's the odd salary out right now. Evan Fournier helps us offensively, but you got Quentin Grimes growing by the day. You got Cam Reddish here now. You got Alec Burks running the point. RJ Barrett shining right now. Evan Fournier's money and his plays, he's the odd man out right now. And they're not willing to bring $19 million off the bench, right? You're not going to bring $19 million off the bench, are you? So let's look out for that move. The $19 million of Evan Fournier making some trade work. An agent superargo, salute. 2023 Cam, RJ, and Zion complete the three-way, the hard way in New York. That's going to be out there for the next year or two, right? David Griffin in New Orleans, straight sweating right now, sweat beads coming down their forehead. I think, right? Not only do you cheer and you have a big city hall party when Zion was drafted, but where's Zion right now? He's not even fit. He's not playing. He's a problem weight-wise. Contract-wise, you're going to have to decide what to do with Zion. There's all sorts of headaches for New Orleans. They might end up blowing that big asset and end up, screwing them over. And Tony, for once, the Knicks need to get that alpha point. We won't get to that next level until we have one. It's been a long time since we had that stud PG, and hopefully next year, hopefully this year as well. But I think they were close to CP3 from what Alan Hahn's saying. CP3 2 years ago, before he signed the extension in Phoenix, he was entertaining New York. I know he's on the older side, but yeah, CP3 was thinking what it would be like to be in New York, but the COVID pandemic hit. He didn't want to subject his family to New York right now with the lockdown. He wanted the whole Mecca experience if CP3 came here. And I think that was our last chance, to get that most recent bona fide stud floor general point guard. The Kentucky connection's out there. De'Aaron Fox right now. De'Aaron Fox, the tea leaves are out there. It was crazy that he went out, and said in a publicly in a press conference that we're losing, and I'm kind of not kind of expecting, but I'm not shocked if I get moved. The fact that their max star over there is saying those kinds of things publicly lets you know that his agent's feeding him the news. His agent's letting him know that, hey, we're listening to calls right now. The Sacramento Kings have been a perennial dumpster fire. $200 million salary max extension for De'Aaron Fox. Do you think he moves the needle? Do you think he moves the needle for the New York Knicks, and can get us far in the playoffs? Or be a nice fit with what we're building right here? Because I'm with you, Tony, in terms of everyone, makeshift point guards. I'm done with all that. From the Jeremy Lins to the, Baron Davises to the, Trey Burks to the Emmanuel Mudiay's to the, it's just Frank Ntilikina's. It's just been makeshift point guard year after year, right? Kemba Walker didn't work out either, and I think the New York Knicks trying to wait out the Philly Simmons, but only for the right price. We could have Schroeder, Brunson, or a lot of other serviceable point guards, but they're not our main choices as well. Spot on there with that, sounding like Leon Rose with that one. I can see him thinking that same way. Waiting out the Philly thing, see what happens with that. You got to think Julius Randle's got to be going out in that deal, though. It's hard for me to see us getting Simmons without Julius, getting thrown out there. So that, but that bears watching. And yeah, and Ron the shot maker Baker, man, child, appreciate that. Ron Baker's retired. For those that don't know, he's working a corporate job right now. But Ron Baker got the best out of himself, was an NBA player, got paid. Phil Jackson paid him, got paid in Europe. And Fred VanVleet, his partner from Wichita State, is a max player as well, undrafted, turning into an all-star, is Fred VanVleet. That's another point guard we tried to get. Fred VanVleet turned us down, didn't even want to take a meeting with Leon, didn't want to take his money. I'm okay with that. He can continue to lose in Toronto. It's all good to get paid the bag, but Toronto aren't winning anytime soon. So yeah, this point guard situation, the center situation, let's look out for that. As this trade buzz continues to roll, the New York Knicks are in a prime position. We're in a great position right now. We can call teams, we can get involved. We've got all the options available, right? We're a Swiss Army knife right now. We're a Swiss Army knife. People want to call us to help us out. And we help the vulnerable. We can help the vulnerable, like the LA Lakers were vulnerable. Atlanta Hawks were vulnerable. We left them red-faced. And Allah says, yeah, that's the problem. I think Rose want to keep Randall and still add Simmons. Look at the jam we have with the guard and the wing positions as well. Yeah, definitely. And I think it's going to be a bad publicity look for us to move Julius, right? Your Leon Rose, you bring him in, most improved, all-star, then you give him the bag, and then you trade him half a season later for a shady character like Ben Simmons. It's going to be interesting. But let's see how ruthless Leon the Don is. He's all about business, but he's also about mob. The mob and the family. Keeping it in the family. And another Knicks Hall of Fame point guard, Jose Calderon. Salute, be civilized. Got a new gig in the Cleveland front office, special advisor. I almost fell out my chair when I saw that. And on the back of that, other news is Ricky Rubio gave some quotes to the Spanish press. I think that he's about to retire, or once he can't, once his son is in school. When his son hits school, he's going to retire because he can't do the traveling back and forth. So that's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, Ricky Rubio out for the season, so he might have played his last game. And Lex doesn't want anything to do with Simmons at all. And what's going on in Philly right now. I will say I think Simmons will come out real motivated. I think when he finally finds that home wherever he wants to go, he just wants Philly out in the worst way. He'd play for the Shanghai Sharks now, I think, with Simmons, just to be out of Philly for 1 year. For 1 year. And I think, that'd be really interesting to see. Do you think, it'd be smart for the NBA to let a disgruntled player leave the league for one season, but they had to forego their salary. They had to forego their salary for a whole season, and they had to play overseas. That'd be interesting because it's coming that way, right? Contracts mean nothing no more. Any disgruntled dude, James Harden got what he wanted. Ben Simmons will get what he wanted eventually. These contracts, players, it's a players' league now. They can just sit back, demand whatever they like, pay me or play me, kind of thing. It's crazy. And yeah, D Cool says Simmons going out west. I can see that as well. He's a West Coast guy now, training in Cali with LeBron, Clutch, Rich Paul, all of that. It'd be real nice. Philly do Simmons dirty and just send him out to Utah, right? Send him out to Utah. That'd be funny. Yeah, say, hey, Ben Simmons, play out the rest of your career in contract in Utah. And Manchild, we become a contender with Simmons on the squad as well, with his defense, his grittiness. Yeah, he's got a lot to prove still to Simmons. Came into this league with a lot of potential. He's been acting up. Hasn't improved the shooting, but he's an all-NBA defender. That's for sure. And Nick Yak, salute. Wait for Brunson. He played great tonight for nothing. Brunson's, the big name on the list. I think for Leon Rose, it's gettable, restricted free agent. Utah, Dallas is cash strapped. They've maxed out so many dudes. Jalen Brunson, they'll be happy to just get whatever, pennies on the dollar, I think, right? I think you could get Jalen Brunson for Nerlens Noel and, maybe Nerlens Noel and Jericho Sims, just give him a young piece or something. And Allah says, as much as he thinks Simmons is weak mentally, his defense and at point guard passing and rebounding is elite, and he wouldn't trade, but he wouldn't trade Randall for him still as well. So Randall, gives us the offense. He can rebound, he can dribble, he can play make, and he can score as well. So I guess it all suits people's preference in terms of would you want a real demon on the defensive glass or defensive side, or would you want Randall who can do more on the offensive side as well? And it's all about fit too. Be civilized. Knowing Leon Rose, you'll probably get him for a taco on Tuesday. Facts. For a packet of Skittles. And the only way we get Simmons is if we can keep Randall as well. So that's going to be some big trades, a lot of machinations with that. The Simmons thing, I tell you what, it's going to be a three-way trade. I don't see that at $40 million. And the fact that they want, get this, they want Tobias Harris included. They want to get off $80 million. So it's going to have to be a three-way trade where maybe somebody takes Tobias, the New York Knicks maybe take Ben Simmons, and then the other two teams, we both satisfy Philly as well. So that's how it may end up happening. But which other team is the one that's want to take Tobias Harris for $40 million? I don't see any other team wanting with salary space wanting to fill that with Tobias Harris. And Nick Yak on Jalen Brunson, Dallas needs him down the stretch, but he's a free agent next year. And Brunson is an unrestricted free agent. Okay, I appreciate that. I thought he was restricted. And Kenny, salute. Kenny, is Halliburton a real possibility? Yes, he is. Absolutely. Sacramento Kings open for business, like a Walmart, open for business. Tyrese Halliburton, I guess it's the one that the point guard that they fancy the most with Sacramento. I think they secretly want to get out of De'Aaron Fox more than anything, I think, because it's easier to start a blank slate, start from scratch again, even if they don't really like Halliburton. If you can clear De'Aaron Fox's cash, that allows Sacramento to start from the beginning and maybe get some quality young picks and assets for that. And like Manchol says, they want to get out of Fox's deal. He sees the writing on the wall. He put out those statements today, which was straight crazy. And like Nick Yak, we've been saying all show, we need the true point guard. Tyrese Halliburton is more of an off-ball guard, I think. Can catch, can shoot well, can't penetrate. Tibbs doesn't like that. Tyrese Halliburton cannot penetrate, and he's finishing, but he would be a nice off-ball piece if you want to run the offense through Star J Barrett and Julius Randle. And Kenny's saying, but Fox and Tibbs is not a great fit as well. So great point with that one. I can see that too. That's the thing about Tibbs, there's so many restrictions. There's so many players that's, when you've got a coach that's very rigid in certain ways, it's like we've got to fit around. It's hard enough to bring talent in the NBA, accumulate talent, but we've got to now fit around what a coach wants, what a coach does. This front office has got their work cut out winning this chip in Tibbs's timeline, I feel. And a lot of fans feel like Tibbs is here to just set the table for the next guy to come in and win that championship for the Knicks. Maybe Tibbs lasts 1, 2, 3 more years and the New York Knicks find their next man. Tom Thibodeau sets the foundations because, look, he is rigid. He's set in his ways. He only just wants vets we got young players that could be the ones that help us win our next chip. But Tibbs ain't here to develop at all. How patient is the front office? That's going to be really interesting. And Manchol's correction, Brunson is restricted. Okay, yep. So that was true. Yeah, Brunson is a restricted, which it does make things interesting in terms of they can't, teams can poison pill basically. That's why Dallas aren't coming from a position of power right now. The New York Knicks can call Dallas. We can say, hey, you don't have the money to pay Jalen Brunson. The whole world knows that. So here's what we're going to do. Take Nerlens Noel. He's a vet center that can help you win now this season. Take Jericho Sims and take a second round pick. Take it or leave it, or lose Jalen Brunson for nothing. So that's what we can do. And that's a pretty low price to pay to get a stopgap point guard. So look for Leon Rose. Look for that rumbling. Tony says, I always envisioned our star player feeding off the Garden crowd in the playoffs, but Julius melted under the pressure. It was mental and not physical. Hard to fix. Simmons worries me for the same reason as well. Spot on with that one, Tony, as well. I can agree. Like Spreewell, starring Larry Johnson, John Starks, those kind of dudes feeding off the Garden energy. Julius Randle doing the other way around. Seems like it's just all about Julius a little bit at times. Still only 27 years old, still immature, in terms of being an NBA team's leader. But let's hope he continues to cope with pressure right now, because otherwise he's got to find himself a new team, right? No one's untradeable, no one's untouchable with this team, with this organization. I think they are, they're higher on people more than others, but I don't think Leon Rose is married to nobody here, I think. And Nick Yak, we have Fournier and Burks and RJ as off ball, but don't need Halliburton, nice player, but not a fit. And Allah says, that's the problem, getting a point guard. You got to get the right one, or keep having to start over at the position you have to be patient. In terms of point guards too, what is a point guard now? A lot of fans say, like Sherwin as well, other dudes aren't point guards. Donovan Mitchell, these kind of dudes aren't point guards. There are very many few point guards that are just assist dominant in terms of facilitating. Most of a point guard is a combo guard that can score, can break down the defense, and has distribution ability as well. And Nick Yak, we outbid Dallas, would love playing where his dad played as well. Yep, connections all abound with that one. I think, the Jalen Brunson thing, it's very gettable. Restricted free agent. We have pieces to help Dallas out now. Let's see what happens with that. And I don't think by any means, Jalen Brunson is a dude that's going to swing no needle for us. I want to clarify that. He's a nice young player, would help us win, but he's not the point guard of the future, I don't think. He'd be a nice piece now. If we can get him at a cheap cost, do it. But that could leave us back to square one, constantly looking for our future point guard. Are we just going to wait for Donovan Mitchell to be available and, end up choosing Miami, like LeBron did, leave us at the altar again? I'm done with that. As the New York Knicks, we need to make power moves. Need to bring people here that want to be here, and you got to build, step by step. Basically, we made the playoffs last season. We flamed out. We have to make the playoffs again for perception around the league, and we ideally go one step further or more. Go to the second, third round, be a tough out for us to continue to grow and as an organization and bring in those stars that want to come here, right? Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is another one, right? That bears watching in OKC, right? They don't really want to pay. I don't know if they want to pay him if they're not winning. Obviously Sam Presti has so many picks. Let's see with that one. And from Allah, he likes guards who can shoot, penetrate the paint. and defend, and that's hard to find. Yep. De'Aaron Fox is no good on defense either. He's undersized. Is De'Aaron Fox. So that's going to be really interesting. We've got to bring in some Tibbs guys, and Tibbs is high on Jalen Brunson with those connections. And like Mansholt says, there's very few point guards in the league nowadays anyway. Yeah, they're all combo guards. Yeah, they just don't teach them that way no more, right? They're Rucker Park, Dykeman point guards, light you up, fancy flashy moves, fancy dribbles, in and out, crossover, all of that. And Kyrie Irving was pretty much the start of that Steph Curry kind of generation, right? Kyrie Irving, for all he's talented in terms of distribution, is a true shooting guard in a point guard's body, right? If Kyrie Irving was 6'6", he'd be the quintessential shooting guard, would Kyrie Irving, but at the end of the day, it's been like that. It's been trending that way for a long time. And Kenny says, I don't think we'll get our point guard this season, so we should try to find a couple of additional trade assets for the offseason. Yeah, I agree, Kenny. In terms of be patient, right? We know we're not winning no chip this season. Keep your eye on the next step, the future, what's coming up. Don't get a point guard like Fox if it's not the right one, right? Unless you're 100% sold and invested in who we're getting in, then there's no point making that massive blockbuster move. That's why I said, Jalen Brunson could be a nice tryout, a nice stopgap for now, purely for the fact that the price you could get for him, right? He may not be the dude to take us there, but if you can get him for Nerlens Noel, a couple seconds, and maybe Jericho or someone, a throw in, and Dallas take that, then why not? That's another buy low kind of move, that the New York Knicks have been doing, right? And like be civilized, high IQ players for hire. I'm with that all day, every day, right? High IQ 2A dudes. Quentin Grimes is like that too. Quentin Grimes plays smart defense. He knows where to be. Deuce McBride. They're not just hustle, right? Everyone's claiming their size, their ability, physical ability. Mentally, they are strong defenders as well. They're high IQ as well. Some of the other dudes, not so much. And salute Real King. Salute. Nick Yak watched Brunson tonight. He was great again. What we need does it all as well. There's a nice stat, Nick Yak, on that. When Jalen Brunson is on the floor playing with Luka Doncic, their record is something like 5-1. And when Jalen Brunson doesn't start or play with Luka, they're a losing record as well. So the proof is in the pudding. Jalen Brunson is helping Dallas win games when playing with Luka as well. So he does have an all-round game. And Allah says, after the summer, McBride should come back way better. His defense is already tough. Got to work on his handle and shot. Definitely, yeah. That's a skill that he can continue to grow and develop in the G League as well. Running the team, the shot. Deuce is great as a pull-up, spot-up shooter as well. Mid-range. He's a scoring point guard. Again, another scoring point guard that can defend. He needs to develop some playmaking ability and continue to grow, be strong with the defense. And he's a nice piece. I think a lot of teams will call us for Deuce, right? They're no fools, right? Every GM looks at teams around the league and they say, okay, who's not playing for that team? Oh, wow, Deuce McBride. Deuce McBride can't even get in the New York Knicks rotation. He's putting up 39 points in the G League. Okay, let's see. Let's put in a call and see whether they will throw in Deuce McBride. I think teams are going to call us for Deuce McBride and Rokas even. And Allah Wise says, I'm torn with Brunson. He knows the game, very crafty. He's just short. Yeah, size is a lot of things too. We saw him get switched, right? Switched onto Star J Barrett. Bully Barrett has the post-up game and the size. He bullied Brunson. Brunson's not a guard that you can switch. Tom Thibodeau loves guards that are taller, can switch on the defense. But at the end of the day, you just got to live and die with that deficiency, I think. Jalen Brunson can help you win in so many other ways. Intangibles, defense, IQ, passing. Jalen Brunson's worth the gamble, in my opinion. However, yeah, you got to be aware of his shortcomings. Jalen Brunson does come with shortcomings, but the price we could get him at would be an absolute steal. Of course, you got to pay him now. He's restricted free agent. That's also what's scary. We might get him for nothing, but you got to settle on a contract. If it's a sign and trade, there's rumors Jalen Brunson's value is north of the 15 to 20 to 18 mil, right? If he's starting and helping Dallas, do you guys feel, to get Brunson here is one thing, but would you want to pay him 15 to 18 mil? That's going to put a sizable dent in your future plans, right? And Nick Yak, we talk lots of trades, and trading hardly happens. It is a waste of time, make believe. Yeah, we're on it right now because a couple weeks off, we're wheeling and dealing. We're dealing early with these New York Knicks. Leon Rose making power moves. But yeah, you're right. We may not be making much moves after this. It could just be a lot of smoke. And Manchild says Rokas is a 6'4" point guard. Yeah, who's tearing it up in Spain right now. That he is, absolutely. So happy for that decision, and that man too, getting valuable reps with a big club in Europe, Barcelona. They're a power club right there. He was back up to Nick Calthes, the vet point guard, former NBA veteran point guard. Calthes went out through an injury, and Rokas got his opportunity. Rokas stepped in, and he's taken control ever since. He's putting up something north of 12 to 15, 16 points a night, north of 4 to 6 assists a night. And assists are harder to get in Europe. They're a bit more stringent on what classifies as an assist. The player basically has to put it in the cup as soon as they catch it for it to be an assist in Europe as well. So that's another factor. Rokas only 21, 22 years old, got great size, has a good handle, lefty, great handle, dribble, can pop the three. That was a smart signing from Leon Rose, drafting Walt Perrin right there as well. There's a reason we traded back to try and get Rokas and Deuce as well. So that could be an issue. We could be talking to Rokas right now and saying, hey, maybe in a year or two, let's not go all in on a point guard yet. And Nick Yak, everyone getting that kind of money. Noel, 10 mil as well. Yeah, I agree with that one. The NBA salary cap is going up by the day. The NBA is growing. This global game right now, this worldwide chat, up in here. The money, the cap's just going to go up and up, right? We're going to see the first $60 million contract soon, I think. Somebody's going to be that lucky, man. Maybe DeAndre Ayton or Devin Booker or somebody going to be the first $60 million man. And Real King, I think we should wait. You can find another Jalen Brunson as well. That's another very, very valid point there. Somewhat mediocre is what you're saying. Mediocre point guard, Jalen Brunson. You wait a year or two, you can find them definitely. I'm not running to pay no average point guard 18 mil. Especially when you got a young, quickly Deuce, Rokas, potentially RJ up in here. And that's why I don't really want De'Aaron Fox, to be honest with you. He doesn't really move the needle, I don't think. And Nick Yak, we want a point guard. We have to pay starting point guard money. That we do. Yeah, that's what scares me. That's a fact. And Manchild, we can look for a point guard in this coming draft as well. Facts. We got picks up the wazoo. We got the best drafting, scouts right now, best that we've ever had in a long time. And we know talent. When we see it, we're good at identifying talent. Maybe we build through the draft. Again, that doesn't suit the rigidity of Tibbs and that sort of situation right now. Rookie point guards and Tibbs don't really go. He's pressing Leon, he's pushing Leon in the corner, saying, "Get me, Jalen Brunson, get me Fox, get me somebody." It's going to be interesting. Tibbs might get in his own way. maybe we a blessing in disguise. Maybe he loves Quickly so much. Maybe he's just head over heels with Quickly that he doesn't push Leon as much, and he sees maybe Quickly could be the starting point guard next season with more development, Quickly and RJ. So I think this team, this front office is still evaluating. They're evaluating game by game. Some dudes are showing us stuff, glimpses of the future, what they can do. This trade deadline, we've made a solid move this early. There's no pressure on us to make any big deal anymore, right? We could just ride this season out now with McBride on hand. And like Nick Yak says, he's on Team McBride. Straight facts on that one. I think Tibbs was one of the ones that pushed to send McBride to the G League, right? Get him some minutes. In the past, we would have had the point guards rot on the bench. And he's Nick Yak saying it. Who said Brunson getting 18 mil? Just speculation. Just heard a couple of reporters. People speculate. For a starting point guard, that is the cost, 15 to 20 mil, right? If Jalen Brunson gets lured away, he's going to get a decent contract. And you want to pay, 13 to 14 mil as well. Look, I'd be surprised, to be honest. This day and age, I think 13 to 14 mil, I'll be surprised, if Brunson ends up getting that low. Cool, Knicks needs to do what they can to get DeJounte Murray, give Spurs an offer that they can't pass on. Let's hope they're not sold on him. I heard some speculation that Pop isn't 100% sold on Murray. Let's see if we can take advantage of that. And like Nick Yak says, unfortunately, IQ Quickly is better off the ball as well. But yeah, it could happen. Like I said, sometimes the smartest move is to not make the move at all, right? Why take on salary, pay guy for mediocreness, mediocrity? Someone who's not going to take us to the next level. Why not develop quickly on the rookie scale contract? Deuce McBride on his rookie scale. See what you have in Rocast next summer league. See what RJ looks like with Burks continuing to do it. At the end of the day, if we do that though, we just can't complain. We can't complain. We don't have that point guard. If there are point guards available and we don't make that move, then we have to live and die with the fact that we're just happy to be idle right now at the point guard spot, right? Rock with those makeshift point guards like we've been doing for decades. Alec Burks now, RJ Barrett. We do have a lot of playmakers. They're just not true point guards right now. I don't really think Tibbs is is a type of dude that's looking for a traditional point guard anyway. He probably just says, just get me ball handlers, get me guys that can shoot, score, and pass, and most likely defend. Switch on the pick and roll. That's his biggest thing. I mean, Elfrid Payton, he was no playmaker. He was no distributor, and he kept him in. He was happy with him as the starting point guard for a while. And like I said, if you can defend, shoot, and pass, Tibbs is okay with that. Even if you're just a combo guard. And like we said earlier in the show, the Eastern Conference matchups today went our way. A lot of teams lost. Boston lost. Chicago lost. Cleveland lost. Who else lost up in here? The Raptors lost. The Hawks lost. Of course, tonight we play them back to back. For them, let's put the beat down on them early. The Charlotte Hornets and the Pacers lost as well. So the Pacers are getting one step closer to blowing it up. So there's going to be a lot of trade rumors out there. Like I've been saying, look at the Twitter handles. Make sure it's the real deal. Don't be fooled by no speculation, rumors, things like that. We'll continue to keep everyone buzzing, keep our finger on the pulse. It's been a great show. Let's get it. We're going to get our rest, get juiced and amped for this matchup tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. We can win the season series against them with a win tonight. And I appreciate everyone in the chat. This has been the chat show. Don Leon running the show with the chat firing on all cylinders. I appreciate you all. Let's get it. It's going to be a big, big night. We can get above 500. Let that sink in. In the words of Ron Cleveland, let that sink in. We haven't been at over 500 since I think we were like 5-4. I think we haven't been above 500 since 5-4. It's just been crazy. It feels like it's been 3 seasons in one. The Cam Reddish move, Leon struck gold. We're going to have to wait, unfortunately, for a couple of games, it looks like, for Cam Reddish to make his Garden debut in his shine. But I'm all here for it. It's going to be nice seeing him and RJ Barrett dap each other up, hug each other, chest bump. I'm going to say, Cam Reddish will have a big throwdown dunk in his debut at the Garden when that ankle heals up. It's going to be all over social media. Zion Williamson's phone will be blowing up, just like his waistline. And it's going to be fun up in here. New York Knicks are calling the shots, where no one's fool no more, because Leon Rose in this front office is making moves, and the crowd holding our players accountable, the chat holding things down, the streets are buzzing. Let's get it on the next one. I'll see you soon. Peace.